Hello, everyone. I'm just telling Cal we're about to get started. Anyway, welcome to the first odd-shaped panel of the year. We have a specific topic in mind for today, and that is...
Action.
Action. We're talking action movies. We realized that somehow we hadn't covered this yet, and usually when we talk action, it's in relation to Hot Fuzz. So we're prepared for your Hot Fuzz related answers, but have backups just in case, because we did spend a whole episode on Hot Fuzz. And speaking of which, that was
not just Hot Fuzz. All
well,
Edgar Wright's good movies.
Speaking of which, though, that was our first director spotlight, and we'll talk about it more. But next OSP is another director spotlight, and we'll announce that halfway through if you don't already know. So we have some fun questions today, and real quick, let's just say hello to everybody in the chat. Oh. Okay, so we have Eric Ostemacher, Billy Paulahan, Tom Zambino, Youssef, Cal, Joe, and I assume Ashley. They're not feeling well. We hope you guys feel better. Amy, another one I know who hasn't been feeling great. We also hope you feel better. And Dell. So thanks for being here, regardless of your condition. And we hope we make you feel a little bit better.
Hey, TJ.
TJ is also in the room. And hopefully he calls in because we got a lot to talk about. But before we jump the gun, I believe Morgan is in the room still.
Yeah,
I forgot to say Morgan because he's in the separate list. Oh,
Bill's here.
Philadelphia, the man himself. Look at that. Thanks, everyone, for coming out.
Yeah, why don't you give Morgan a call? Because sometimes it takes him a minute to get in here, so...
Yeah, it takes a little longer because it has to cross an ocean.
Yeah. You would think we're kidding when we say that, but you should see the delay when we call Morgan sometimes. And it's always worse when his dad is around. I don't know if you've noticed. But that was a hilarious...
always better when his dad's around.
Well, it was a hilarious bit the last time his dad was around. But the connection issues were seem to be worse when his dad pops up.
And who saw the Gatorade collection coming?
That's what I'm saying. That whole thing was hilarious.
That was the last OSP and chill. If you haven't had a chance, just fast forward to Morgan's part.
Looks like he's getting in quick.
Look at that. That's a shiny new mic. Uh-oh.
We can hear that echo, buddy.
Off to a great start. Just, did you try turning it off and on again? I think he's... Is he hacking?
We can hear you and see you. Can you hear us?
What is going on? Why does nothing ever work?
It does work. Can you just not hear us?
Why can't I hear anything?
Oh, no. Morgan, no. Morgan!
I'm with CJ.
You're just moving your lips. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know what's going on. Yes, but that's no good because you can't speak to me. What's the point of things? Why is it not doing it?
Why? Okay, so...
Do you know what? Sack it. I'm gonna do it this weird way.
Wind chimes?
Yeah, I have all preparations necessary. So I'm gonna try it this way instead. Because new microphones require weird things, clearly.
Going into the main.
So,
man, action-packed.
Hi.
Action-packed episode.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you very loudly now. Awesome. Can you hear me fine?
We've heard you the whole time.
Right, good. That's good then. Hello, sorry, new microphone issues.
No problem. You've got a pretty pizzazzy sounding keyboard too. Is that new?
Oh, God damn it! It picks up everything. I do apologize.
Cal wanted me to cue Benny Hill music while you're doing all that, but I have more respect for you than that.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm figuring things out. Don't blame me.
My selection would have been My Heart Will Go On and On by Celine Dion.
I won't have to touch the keyboard now, so it's fine.
Nice. Why don't you...
It's a Casio.
So. Hello.
All right, so let's get into this thing.
Oh.
Question number 1 comes to us from TJ Dex himself. Who is the best villain from an action film?
The best villain from or at least my favorite, is Castor Troy from Face Off, because he's absolutely insane in both Travolta and Cage performances.
Yeah, they
and I love Face Off so much because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely ridiculous, especially with like the nuke fight scene at the end on the like trailer train.
Absolutely everything about it is ridiculous. But for me, I know I'll probably get some like hate for this. Like, I like action films to be ridiculous because that's just how I like action films. Like, don't take them too seriously as far as I'm concerned. Like, I know that like I'll get killed by some heavy action fans now. So please don't do that.
It's
because
fine.
I'm trying to be nice.
Because
yeah,
I was
love Face Off.
Describing the end of Broken Arrow, not the end of Face Off. I can't, like, as confusing as those two faces are. I get those.
You just said the end of Face Off, so I just automatically thought about the boat chase and the church and the ridiculous standoff and the doves and yeah, there's doves. There's a lot of doves.
Do they fight?
No, they get in the way, if anything.
Nice. Did you have a pick?
Yeah, I prefer the competition makeup show Face Off. That's my favorite Face Off.
Yeah,
it's on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it's actually really cool. Like the lead makeup artist from like Beetlejuice.
Her name is V. Neal.
Yes, and she's a judge. And anyway, that's a different topic. Although a practical effects episode would be a lot of fun.
For sure.
Okay, so my pick may not be very traditional, but the character himself is an homage to the classic action bad guy. And it's Ripper from The Last Action Hero, or Ripper from Jack Slater 3, depending on how you look at it. And he's this very menacing ginger English bad guy.
We don't know anyone like that.
You should cosplay as him. And he has a false eye, but throughout the movie, like, it's a gimmick. So he has one eye that like he'll take out of his eye and spin it and then roll it, and then it's a grenade. And then it's like with a smiley face on it, but then he'll go and he'll put another eye with like an 8-ball on it, and it's like a smoke bomb or something. Like, he's just very gimmicky. He has crazy amounts of charisma, and like, for those who haven't seen Last Action Hero, it's really fun. He ends up going into the real world and recruiting bad guys from other movies. So he's like, all right, well, I'm going to put Nosferatu on my team, and I'm going to put Jack the Ripper on my team, and they're menacing. And yeah.
Did you tell Morgan his supervillain name that you came up with for him?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, the Sinister Minister?
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Or we can go Minister Sinister and make it like a Minister Sinister.
I've absolutely... My headphones fallen out. And I have absolutely died. What? Why?
I like it.
Life? Why life? Why?
So I've chosen a team of villains for my choice, and
unprecedented.
Yeah, of course. We were talking about Hot Fuzz earlier, and I have to pick for my choice the Neighborhood Watch Alliance from Hot Fuzz, which is basically just like kind of like the sweet older people in this neighborhood who just like want to win best village so badly that they're taking it to horrible lengths for quote unquote the greater good. And they're taking out people left and right. They don't want the gold man there, and they don't want kids doing graffiti and stuff, and it's leading to them teaming up and doing all these like horrific things. And it's so funny to me, and it's so creative that you're just taking like normal people and probably people much like Edgar Wright has seen in his real life and turning them into this dark kind of scenario where they just want everything to be perfect to the point where they're like literally murdering and hiding people and corrupting like the police and stuff. Like the lead guy is Nick Frost's character's dad, and he is a cop, you know? And so it's funny for them to bring in Angel, who is Simon Pegg's character, and for him to be uncovering all this happening and for Nick Frost to not even see it, you know, and all of this through the lens of every action movie ever, because that's what that movie is about, is harpooning action movies. And I just thought it was really creative and fun and interesting.
I also think that it's interesting that the town kind of serves as like a small like social experiment, you know what I mean? Like, because what would happen in a grand scheme, like if there was an Illuminati, maybe there is, I don't know, and they were very much like that, like we're just going to kill off and put down the things that give us trouble, and then those things come up and like revolt. It's cool.
Yeah, it's just horrifying to find out like they're the best village for so and so amount of years, and that's because like they get rid of anyone who threatens their perfection, you know? It's fun.
It's funny you should say that, because if you go to rural northern England, these type of villages actually exist, where older people murder people because they're not up to the standards of what they should be. No, but like, no, obviously there's no murder, but you know, that might be not as well, the sort of idea of obviously older people wanting the greater good, as you say, for their own town is far less plausible than it might seem to you. To me,
Morgan, I just want to let you know that we watch a lot of crime shows, and you
say so much Manchester.
Manchester comes up all the time.
No,
so the fact that you're trying to cover it up makes me a little suspicious. Sinister Minister.
I am not talking about Manchester. I am talking about rural northern villages. This is a city. It's on a much bigger scale in the city.
And another thing I love about, before we move away from Hot Fuzz, I really love, like, they had some great actors in the group for the Neighborhood Watch Alliance too, like to have like Timothy Dalton in there, and even like the actor who plays the Hound as like the Yarp guy and stuff. Like if you go back and watch that movie, like it's an amazing cast of villains, really. Morgan agrees. He's nodding.
I do agree. I do agree.
Did you have the second question?
The second question is, what is your favorite one-liner from an action movie, coming from @BBusterBilly? Bill.
We love Billy. Just to get that out of the way, we love Billy. Now, I love Predator so much as well, as far as action movies go, because again, it's ridiculous to me, even though it's like horrendously graphic and everything. And the best one-liners come from Predator, as far as I'm concerned. Whether it is one of Schwarzenegger's, or if you count I Don't Have Time to Bleed as a one-liner, then that is my favorite.
Nice.
Because that is a wonderfully... Well, obviously, I was not alive in the 1980s, so I don't know what America was like in that decade. So I just have films to go off, and apparently it was incredibly macho, and that is the most macho thing anybody has ever said in the history of macho-ness.
Nice.
Well done, Jesse Ventura.
I think it's interesting that you say it has to be macho because I definitely the first person to come to mind. I wanted to pick something from her, and that's my hero, Ellen Ripley. And I'm gonna go with "Get Away from Her, You Bitch" in Aliens. She's just like the coolest, toughest, badassest chick ever in film, and I think that having her led to so many other amazing characters, and she just like she was so like ballsy in that moment and so tough and like really like just like she's just such perfection right there. And it's been so many times that I've quoted that line, and there's just magic in it. So that was the quote that I had to go with, and I stand by. Ripley is amazing.
I can't disagree with that at all. No, that's not true. I was gonna say I have issues with the alien thing and everything, but I don't have issues with it. I just don't think I love it as much as most people. So I've seen like Aliens like once, so it doesn't necessarily always stick in. But you can't, you can't say fairer than Ripley, can you? It's obvious.
Yeah, like I know you're not a sci-fi dude in general, but I think anyone, even if you don't like sci-fi, can appreciate like just Ripley as a character. She has so much to offer. Like she's such an interesting and powerful and amazing character.
Okay,
Here comes Tom.
so I don't know if a lot of people know my pick. It's a Rutger Hauer film. It's called Hobo with a Shotgun, and pretty much it's just this homeless guy who's trying to save up enough money to get a lawnmower so he can make a living. But this gang comes through in town, and it gets bloody. It's crazy, ultra violent. It's great. But he has a line where he goes, "I'm gonna sleep in your bloody carcass tonight," and I love it. I killed Morgan.
It's just like weird
I've
lines.
died.
I have a favorite bizarre line.
That's kind of wonderful.
What was that, buddy?
That's kind of wonderful. I love that.
Yeah, my favorite bizarre line in a movie is not from an action movie. It's from a horror movie, and it's Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's when the guy goes, "Up yours," with a twirling lawnmower. That's my favorite of those. But
My favorite lawnmower scene is Kick-Ass 2, when Mother Russia picks up that lawnmower and throws it at the cops.
no, the best lawnmower scene is Dead Alive. Come on now.
Oh, you're right. What about Lawnmower Man?
We should do a lawnmower OSP, apparently. There's lots to go on here.
I
could
in
bring
this,
my lawnmower.
I was like in this polka funk rock band in high school, and our Jason Dole, the radio guy, he would do a song with us, and he would just go, "This is how you mow your lawn," and then make up lyrics in between. It was a crowd pleaser. Next question. Brought to us by _Mrs. Davis. And when answering this question, please keep in mind, let's pick people who haven't had an action role yet, because that's what she meant when she posted it. So who has the potential to be our next old man action star? So I guess this could be a young person now that we can look forward to being an old man, or someone who's old enough but hasn't gotten a chance to do an action role.
Okay, that's thrown me.
Someone do you want us to go first?
Yes, please. I don't know everyone's detailed filmography. I don't know if these people have had an action film before.
Well, I mean,
I think
a well-known.
I would think that action films are fine as long as they haven't done like Expendables or Jean-Claude Van Johnson or something recently where they already kind of are an old man action hero. But I think it should be okay.
Yeah.
Did you want to do yours, Tom?
Okay.
I know we're having computer problems.
Yeah, sorry. A few things are trying to update right now, and it's poor timing. Anyway,
the camera's not on us.
I'm going to I can't click it right now. 1 second, let me move it. Sorry. Anyway, while I try to settle on one, I'll read a few from the
I have
chat.
one. Do you want me to just go?
I mean, we might as well just read these few from the chat, right?
Well, some of these people are going to call in, so don't read the ones of people who are going to call in.
Fine, you can go, I guess.
I like Janine's, though. Bob Odenkirk. That's an awesome choice. I'd be down for that. I'm just
That's supposed to be happening, isn't it? I've heard that's supposed to be happening.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'm into it.
Like,
I'm also into that Bill Hader murder show thing that's coming out. That'll be cool, too. But my choice is Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I love him. I think he's like a very attractive older gentleman. And I've kind of wanted always, as a Supernatural fan, I would have thought it would have been amazing. We get to hear how amazing John Winchester is the whole time on Supernatural. Like, their whole legacy is that they're John Winchester's sons and that they're always trying to live up to, like, the amazing hunter that he was. And he probably was an amazing action hero, but we didn't get to see any of that. I would have loved to have seen just even one episode of John being this badass that we hear about constantly. And this is why he's my choice. I think him playing Negan on The Walking Dead and stuff is opening doors for him to perhaps do something in that way. But I'm not a Walking Dead fan, and I don't get to see that. So I would love to see, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan come out with something, maybe even like along the lines of like Taken or something, and just be like a badass and be awesome. Maybe not necessarily like an ensemble thing like they did with the Expendables, but just like him being like this tough old bastard. I could be really into that.
My pick would be, I just had it and it went away. Like a leaf on the wind. Alan Tudyk. No. It could be interesting. John Hamm is my pick. We got to see him shoot a gun a bunch in Baby Driver, and that was my favorite part. I wouldn't want him to be
in the movie together.
Yeah, I would want John Hamm to be the good guy though, and then Jeffrey Dean Morgan to be the bad guy. What are we gonna call our movie?
We'll think of something.
Are you making it? I want you to make that.
Well, I will try to get in contact with his people.
But what do you like about John Hamm?
Everything. He's the perfect package.
Charisma.
I think John Hamm could pull off one-liners great as well.
For sure. Here's the thing, which I think the English Spy Game has charmed down really well, because like you don't watch Mission Impossible to like see Tom Cruise be charming because it's gross, and you don't like what Jason Bourne isn't charming. He's like a badass, but like there's no like American charm. And if he could do that for, you know, us, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're wanting like Mad Men, but
I want Mad Men badass.
Mad Men badass.
I would even be down for a period piece with John Hamm because he's been in multiple and he's great in every single one I've seen him in. That Doctor show was amazing.
I always think John Hamm is great. He's another one of my sexy old men that I like. So I'm down for the Jeffrey Dean Morgan with a side of ham.
Everyone agrees that Tom Cruise is gross. Thank you, guys.
Did you come up with one, Morgan?
I have had a thought of Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Okay.
Because
that's Jamie Lannister.
That's Jamie Lannister. Because he has... Obviously, he's Danish. So he's like... He could go around Europe doing action-y things. I think that's good, though, because I think he's been doing... Like, the films he's sort of done have been... Like, recently. I've not, like, seen any of them. But I know... that he's been doing like sort of like prison. He's done a couple of prison films, I think, and stuff where he's played like a badass. I think he's like 44 or something like that now. So give it 15 years. I think he could be really good. Like, I can't see him like he's not going to lose his physique. I can't see that happening. And I just think he brings the charm as well that you're looking for, and the Americans apparently don't have.
None of us. Just John Hamm.
He has all of it. He has it. He like siphons all of our charm into his
But
hamness.
I don't think that's a bad. Well, if I do say so myself, I don't think that's a bad shout, really. I think Nikolai would be a great action star.
Cal liked it, and TJ is surprised you didn't just go with Littlefinger.
Well, no, that wouldn't work at all. Don't be ridiculous.
He'd be a good villain again.
But he's a snivelly guy. You can't imagine Aidan Gillen beating anyone up. It's ridiculous, though.
I'd watch it.
I wouldn't.
I remember watching John Wick and Reek is in that movie, Theon Greyjoy, and I was like, Alfie, yeah. And I'm like, oh well, this guy has no chance because like automatically I'm like relating him to Theon.
Yeah,
pretty funny. All right, last question, number 4. What is the best action movie that deserves a sequel but never got one? And that's from our buddy Bill at Philadelphia, PA.
I, in truth, have absolutely no idea. And that is only purely because I have very little knowledge in general of action films. So something might have a sequel, but I might not know about it. So I honestly, I apologize to the world.
Yeah, no worries.
At large, but I honestly don't feel I could legitimately answer that.
You guys never have to answer any questions you don't have answers for. Like, that's always a thing on the show. That's fine. Did you have one, Tom?
Oh, I have one. What's the question? Oh, Demolition Man. I wanted to know more about Taco Bell being an elegant restaurant. I wanted to learn more about the 3 shells. I wanted to see Sylvester Stallone and
Sandra Bullock.
No, the bad guy. Blade. Wesley Snipes. I wanted to see them team up and take like a bigger, badder guy down maybe in a sequel. I thought that would have been cool. I don't know. I always had fun with Demolition Man. Apparently it's on AMC right now. If you're bored of this show, you can go watch it. I don't know. I always had fun with Demolition Man. And speaking of Sylvester Stallone, what's your pick?
Well, not the Sylvester Stallone version, but I liked Dredd a lot. The remake that they did with the dude who played Carl Urban, the dude who played Éomer in Lord of the Rings. I thought it was really good. And again, Janine just said that Game of Thrones is dominating tonight, and Lena Headey was an amazing villain in Dredd. I thought she was really interesting, and I really liked that slow-mo drug and stuff that they did in that movie. They did some really interesting stuff with the directing and the cinematography in Dredd. And I really wished that movie did better than it did, because I could have enjoyed seeing a sequel to that one a lot. To see an action movie that's trying different things like that, and to have it go so successfully, in my opinion, I could have absolutely watched another one of those right now.
It's really disappointing when you go and you see a movie like handles like right where they leave off would be the perfect jump point to the next movie. You know what I mean? But like you never get that second movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's movies that totally botch the ending, but they still push out 2 or 3 more movies. And I mean that movie felt like pure to the lore, to the original books. He never took his helmet off.
Badass action, like contained in one location.
The tech was so cool how they handled that. Like it was a, like I don't want to say ahead of its time, but I think it's one of the best like comic book adaptations there is, especially outside of Marvel.
And because it takes place really in this one building for the most part, they have this whole world outside of the building that they could explore and do different stuff with.
Yeah, just go to another mega city.
Yeah, so that's my pick, Dredd.
I think that's a fair point. All I think I've realised what I'm gonna get from this tonight is that I'm gonna get a whole load of action films that I have to watch, aren't I?
Nice.
It's gonna be a big list, like Demolition Man. Still never seen Demolition Man.
Did you see Dredd?
No.
That's a good one, man.
See Dredd before you watch Demolition Man. Demolition Man, for its time, is funny and fun and action-packed. It is by no means
Good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's good in some ways.
Is it bad? Is it awful?
It's good like in the same way that like Street Fighter the movie is good.
It's a little better.
Bearing in mind, I'm a big fan of Face Off.
Well, then I don't know where your compass is.
I think you'll like Dread.
Oh yeah, I think you'll love Dread.
Fair enough.
I just realized I have a freaking Game of Thrones shirt on too. That's Tyrion.
Oh, me too.
No, Tyrion right here.
I do not anything.
He just like takes off his shirt and it's just like a detailed portrait of Tormund.
Nice.
No, that's just my face.
Oh.
Nice. All right.
You can't tell.
Yeah, Joe's right. Demolition Man should not be compared to Street Fighter. That was.
But
a weird
I meant
comparison.
like the camp factor. I didn't mean like the story is good, is better than Street Fighter. But like think of like the costuming, the like color, like that's what I meant. I'm not.
Demolition Man had some eerily accurate predictions about the future too, so it's interesting for that as well.
All right, let's get some other people in here. Morgan,
get rid of me.
Never. Tell him where to find you, buddy.
What do you got planned?
Well, as always, at the Purple Dawn on Twitter, but with a 3 at the end of the instead of an E. And of course, let's announce on a thing. It's a wonderful podcast. Me and Nolan, you all know Nolan, even if you don't love him. We're doing a new show where every episode we talk about and break down in some sort of decent detail. We want to get quite occasionally quite serious on this, of a film from pre-1960, because quite frankly, not enough people are talking about those anymore, and people need to learn to appreciate older stuff, because I love older stuff. Nolan loves older stuff. We want to discover more about that older style of filmmaking, the good things of it, some of the bad things of it. But we're excited to go on this podcasting journey. And episode 1 will be on Vertigo.
Ooh,
Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo. Jimmy Stewart. I'm a big fan. I know it quite well. But yeah, look out for that. It'll be coming very soon, and follow It's a Wonderful One on Twitter for that.
So you should check out. There's a detailed layout of the blocking that takes place in the office scene of Vertigo, and it's like a whole. I'll see if I can find it, but it's like a whole analysis on the power dynamic and how it keeps shifting in the room. It's really interesting.
I studied Vertigo quite in depth in a film course at college.
Oh, then you're more qualified than I, sir.
I have a lot of analysis points on Vertigo, more than anyone will probably be interested in. But,
well, we'll check that out on your podcast for sure. I do also want to say that Morgan will be joining Matthew Whitaker and myself on the next episode of TV Three-Way, and we are going to be covering It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Flight of the Conchords, and The Toys That Made Us on Netflix. So look for that coming out. That should be next Monday.
Definitely look for that. And guess who picked It's Always Sunny?
Morgan did.
Yes, obviously, because
it's never sunny in Manchester.
Well, that is true. But I pick It's Always Sunny for everything, don't I?
But yeah.
You usually do, yeah.
But I believe Matthew Whitaker had never seen It's Always Sunny, so it should be really interesting to get his perspective of what he thought of the pilot as well.
You know I'm going to cry if he hates it. Like, into this microphone.
All right, buddy.
I also, I'm sorry to say this as well, I also wouldn't mind, like, could people give me feedback on whether this mic was too loud tonight?
Oh, you sound awesome.
Because
it was perfect.
I still need to figure out the loudness a bit.
I would just maybe like put some padding on your keyboard.
Sorry.
Just throw like a sweater on it to muffle the sound.
Okay.
Anyway, we gotta get to the next caller, which is Eric Hasselmacher. So
I'm taking far too much longer. I'm sorry. People hate me. Bye.
We love
We
you.
love you. We don't hate you. Stop it. We'll see you soon, buddy.
All right, now that he's gone,
No,
we can
never.
still talk about how nice of a guy he is. Oh, I used the wrong eye.
We got Eric Otzenmacher next.
Maybe.
I know that Brian is going to be joining us today.
Yeah, we're aiming at 10 o'clock for Brian.
So he'll probably be after Eric.
And then after that, the order will go on as usual. Up next, depending on how long this takes, is Billy or Brian.
Okay, hello. I just need to move this over here. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
All right. Let me actually. I forgot to mute the actual stream. Hold on. All right.
Wow.
Hey guys. All right.
How's it going?
Hi. It's going good. It's going good.
Well, we got some great questions for you, and I'm looking forward to your answers.
I've got some mediocre answers.
That's great. Is there any brief Pokemon news that we should know about?
Yes. Okay. So, starting a couple days ago, the raid boss that's been going around has changed again. It's now Kyogre, which is the legendary from Sapphire version. So you have up until, I believe, Valentine's Day to go catch that. Additionally, Niantic just announced a what's going to be called Pokemon Go Community Day, which is it's like for starting next Saturday. It's going to be a once a month event that's going to be focused on one specific Pokemon each time. Next Saturday, it's on the 20th. It will be for like about 3 hours, from like 2 to 5 Eastern. You'll be able to catch a Surfing Pikachu.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, but do effects carry over? Because like I remember Surf like didn't used to like drench, so like if you hit it with an electricity attack, also it would do more damage. I don't think that's gonna transfer, right?
No, there's nothing like that in the game. It's just it'll have the charge attack Surf, which was only just recently added into the game.
All right. Well, we can't get too much into Pokemon, as action-packed as those little balls are. You like that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we want to know, Eric, who is the best villain in an action film?
I'm gonna bring it right back to Pokemon. So,
Giovanni.
So I was not quite. I was I was racking my brain trying to think of a good answer to that, trying to stick to the action movie sort of theme. And then I'm like just sort of running through villains in my head because I didn't want to just like wind up sticking to like Star Wars or superhero movies or whatnot. I'm like, what is it? And then I just stopped and I thought for a second. I'm like, is Pokemon the first movie considered an action movie? And I looked it up, and it is. So Mewtwo is a super complex villain, especially if you take into account the Japanese version of the movie. Because the American version of the movie cuts out like the first 10 minutes or so of the film, which is what creates his sort of existential crisis. I'm not going to get too much into it, but essentially he gets his memories erased because of death of another character. And it just leads to him going insane. And it's such like a very powerful movie. He's a very physically powerful Pokemon. It's very complex, and I'm so excited I get to answer Pokemon the first movie.
Yeah, I always thought Pokemon the first movie was kind of like what if Frankenstein became the Doctor kind of story.
Yes, yeah. That's like another thing that we find out in those missing 10 minutes is that those first 3 Pokemon clones that he had were also alive when he was a kid.
Oh no!
I mean, they're the same ones from when he was a kid, but he did not create those first 3 clones.
Number 2. what is your favorite one-liner from an action movie?
I wound up going with the line that I saw of a movie that I've seen in 2017 that has stuck with me, and it's like the one thing that's like I keep coming back to in my mind whenever thinking of this movie. This League, though, so it's like, granted, it's not a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot, but there is one moment in that movie at the very end. They defeated Steppenwolf. Superman. Spoilers if you haven't seen Justice League by this point, why would you be concerned about spoilers? So, the end of the movie, Superman and Cyborg have done the thing to stop the bad guy, and they're both lying down on the ground, and Superman just plainly says, "I take it back. I want to die." There's just for whatever reason, that line hit me in such a great, hit me in like just the right place, and I'm just like, that's funny. That's just funny. I love that line.
Nice. All right, number 3. Who has the potential to be our next old man action star?
So I got a joke answer and I got a real answer. My joke answer is Alex Winter, because we already have Keanu Reeves as the current new old action star, and I think that'd just be funny to have him like be in like John Wick Chapter 3 as like another John Wick. I think that would be it doesn't matter if it's like a single scene. I just want that to exist. But my real answer is Jesse Martin, who plays Joe West on The Flash. I just want to see like a super action heavy episode where he has to be super cop, and that would be real cool, and I'd be real into that.
Yeah, that's cool. I like him a lot.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of the I like him a lot too. The episode of Heroes of the Eclipse where Noah Bennett's the badass the whole episode. That would be really cool if for some reason like everyone has to rely on Joe. But all right, cool. Yeah, I like that. All right, 4th and last question. What is the best what is the best action Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. What action movie deserves
a sequel that didn't get one?
All right, so I have the correct answer to this question, and I'm ashamed that neither of you chose this. The answer is They Live. Maybe not like sort of a direct sequel, but more like a spiritual sequel, doing the They Live themes, but with more so fake news as opposed to advertisements.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. What pro wrestler would you cast for it?
I mean, am I allowed to cast any pro wrestler at this point other than John Cena?
Yeah.
I mean, but he's like literally the only one I know at the moment. So. or no, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. I changed my mind. Cody Rhodes. He did it. He
Joe
did a great.
Corrects you in the chat and says that Noah Bennett was always a badass.
Okay. I know. I'm just saying he got the shine throughout that entire episode.
But yeah, just based on his stuff that he's done on the couple episodes he's been on Arrow last season, I choose Cody Rhodes.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right, well, those are all 4 questions. I think we should talk about the dropped or
down pilot. You did the same thing in the recording yesterday.
I'm horrible at this. Which we just recorded, like you were saying. Yeah. What are we doing? Pride of the
X-Men, which is the sort of precursor to X-Men, the animated series. It was a watch.
For sure. I think I said at one point, it felt like so much happened and nothing happened at the same time. So
yeah, that's a very apt description.
Yeah, look out for that tomorrow on Odd Shape channel. It will be here probably around noon, and you can listen to that and check out all the other failed pilots we discuss. So where else can people find you, Eric, and what other content you got going on?
You can find me at Bunk Bunker on Twitter. You got my YouTube where I do Just Whelmed, Noted, the sort of binge along show that I've been running for a while now, going through season 2 of Young Justice. That's coming to an end in a couple of days. On my previous episode, I have announced what I am doing with what I'm going to be doing in the off season between the end of this run and the beginning of season 3. I'm going to be doing a couple of videos under the moniker of Still Whelmed, which will have like things like top 5 episodes of the series so far, top 5 things that I want to season, some spoiler-fic stuff that I don't want to spoil for Joe, who's in the chat right now. Yeah, I'm also going to be trying to cover Justice tie-in comics, because I like a couple weeks ago I read through all those in like one sitting, and they're amazing and actually written by the creators of the show. Probably going to be covering Young Justice Legacy, which is the video game tie-in, which is canon to the show, also written by the creators of the show. It's not great gameplay, but it's good story. So I'm gonna suffer through that again, just for content. And yeah, that is what's up on the plate. Oh, also I just started recording a new Bunk Lock, because a couple episodes of my Fire Red playthrough just kind of got messed up with about 500 drop frames an episode, and I don't want to deal with that. So I started a new one in Pokemon Ruby, which is the game I wanted to do at the beginning, but I couldn't find it, and then I actually found the case that had it in it. So I'm like, okay, good. I was done with Bunk Lock, and now I can just start it back up again.
Nice.
So you should expect that episode sometime either tomorrow or Wednesday. I just need to get to editing it.
Okay, great.
I've got 2 episodes of that in the can. And yeah, that's about it.
We'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
All right.
And we'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. See ya.
Have a good night.
You too.
Probably Brian.
Yeah.
We did
Let's
that
try
quick.
to.
We had to make sure Brian would be here because he is like an action
Oh, yeah.
fan. So
I can't think of someone like if. Well, you know what it is. Nick Frost's character with his like whole closet full of action movies.
yeah,
That's DVD Bunker. Like,
nice. Never seen Bad Boys 2.
oh, there's Brian. We're just talking about him.
Hey Brian, you're gonna be up right after Billy.
Hey Brian, you action aficionado. What's up?
Hey Billy, how's it going?
Going well. I got a hat.
You got a yellow shirt just like Tom.
We met.
Yeah, it's Cobra Kai.
Nice.
Sweep the leg.
Appropriate.
Sweep the leg.
All right. So
Body
let's
bag,
get
Johnny.
right into these questions today. Wow, your handwriting.
Who's the best villain?
Who's the best villain in an action movie?
Okay, I put one as a joke answer and one as a serious answer, much like Eric with his old man action question. But first one is Ed Harris from The Rock. He's my serious answer. Or Frank Hummel, you know, the guy that takes over The Rock. That is Alcatraz. And the reason for that is very simple. It's because he actually has a legitimate reason to do what he's doing. And he's just trying to get his soldiers money, you know, because they got screwed over by the government. And he's like, that's not right. And I was like, okay, that's actually kind of cool. And then my joke answer is Bennett from Commando. I love that guy so much. He's so over the top and crazy. Just that final fight is, well, no, the entire movie of Commando is just insane, and I love it. But yeah, that guy. And he was also he was the main bad guy in The Road Warrior. So just to show you how nuts he can get.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, did you have a favorite one-liner? This was your question, so I'm assuming that you do.
Yeah, it is from Commando. But this is very, very hard because I know so many one-liners. It's not even funny. It's like I'm the pun and wordplay guy, or that's one of my things. And I chose mine from Commando. Oh yeah, speaking of puns, the plug that Eric and Tom did about the Pride of the X-Men. Well, the X people aren't very proud of that one. They don't have a lot of pride, I guess.
Boo.
Yeah, I know, not my best.
Jokes are bad, and you should feel bad.
Shut up, Zoidberg. Nobody cares about you. Anyway, it's one of my favorite lines ever, and it's he has this dude who is from the Warriors. You know, the guy that was like, Warriors come out to play. That guy. He has him by his leg, and he goes, remember when I promised to kill you last? He's like, yeah, I did. I lied. Then he just lets him go. And you don't even hear a thud or anything. It just cuts. And it's like, I don't think he ever like landed. I mean,
he's still falling.
Yeah,
right
it
now.
just you just hear the yell, and then it just cuts, and then the line after it's also pretty good. But no, that's my favorite. So many good ones, especially from Arnold.
So, the third question today, Ashley asked us, who do you think has the potential to be the next old man action hero?
Okay. You mentioned that it's not somebody that has done action. So originally my answer was going to be, well, I'm not going to use it because somebody else might use it because it's a very obvious one. But it made me think of like a lot of Game of Thrones actors could probably pull it off. But like Morgan said, it's not like Aidan Gillen because that guy he looks like slimy, and you can't take him like seriously in the sense that he could beat up somebody. Like he's more of like the behind the scenes villain, which is why he's so good as Littlefinger. I went with Gendry.
Nice.
Joe Dempsey himself. I went with Joe Dempsey because I feel like he could probably kick ass in an action movie. He could bulk up a little bit. And I feel like he could do it like into his later years. It just seems like a good
this
fit.
Is like far in the future then.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to think way ahead.
Okay. Sorry. Cool. Yeah, that's an interesting choice. We got one more question for you today, but it's a good one. What action movie do you think deserved a sequel but never got one?
Well, you took mine, and it is also an amazing movie, Dread. Morgan needs to see that movie. Well, he needs to see a lot of movies, but I thought of another one. It's a super campy film, and I feel like it could, in our superhero market, we could use an sort of an Incredibles 2 vibe, which is what I'm hoping. Mystery Men. I love this movie so much. It's ridiculous and it's stupid, but in all the right in all the right ways. And I feel like, what are these guys up to now? You just see at the end of the movie that, they assemble and, they're the new heroes. Well, what more can they do? Well, I mean, like, they could comment like, man, we got old or something, or they could make a social commentary on like the amount of heroes. Kind of like in Kick-Ass too, but done a little bit better.
Yeah, I have feelings because I love Mystery Men. I've always wanted to cosplay the bowler, Janine Garofalo's character, because like not only is she fantastic and also like very much my vibe, and obviously like Janine Garofalo has attitude and so do I, so I've always like dug her vibe. But I also love bowling and am quite good at it. So I will cosplay the bowler one day. But I like that a lot, man. And I think that Mystery Men, even though it has like some fart jokes and stuff that I find a little unnecessary, is kind of like a hidden gem and still holds up like and is enjoyable to watch and has a great villain with Casanova Frankenstein.
Jeffrey Rush,
Jeffrey
man.
Rush playing it. And an excellent cast, which most of the people are still relevant in that cast.
You have the Shoveler, who's played by
It's William H. Macy.
William H. Macy. You have Ben Stiller. You have
I want to be Mr. Furious. That would be my cosplay.
yeah,
Nice.
Mr. Fierce would be great.
You don't want to be the Waffler?
Well, you know it's funny too.
I'll think about that. The Waffler would be a good cosplay as well.
All Star. Everyone credits Shrek with All Star.
Yeah, but it comes from Mystery Men.
If you look at the video, it's exactly that. It's the tryouts for the Mystery Men. And who was their mentor? The
Oh yeah, the Sphinx.
yeah.
See, I love that movie. I know that movie so
I love
well.
the Blue Raja, and he won't use forks.
And the spleen. So you got to remember all of them.
Yeah, all those guys are amazing, and you're right. And you definitely give off like a Janine Garofalo sort of vibe. I can definitely tell.
Yeah,
I take that as a compliment.
she was one of my crushes in high school. So
Oh no, I love
There
Janine
you go.
Garofalo, so I guess that's another reason why we get along so well.
Yeah, that's an awesome choice, though. That excites me to have somebody bring up that movie because I have like a spot in my heart for that one for sure.
great pick, and like a jump on the superhero movie. Like that was
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
ahead of its time.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I'm really sad that not as many people know it. I'm like, you never heard of Mystery Men? And then they watch it and then they love it. And like, it didn't do too well when it was first released, but it's one of those hidden gems that you can appreciate it for the time it was made in, but it was also ahead of its time in a way.
Yeah.
Billy, let me transport you back to the 90s real quick.
Wait, isn't Eddie Izzard also like one
Yeah,
of the
Eddie Izzard's in
X-Men
it as
too?
well.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
And who's the main good guy? He's usually like the good-looking dude in most
Greg
things.
Kinnear.
Damn.
He's like sponsored by. He's like a NASCAR driver.
Yeah.
Like how
He's like
sponsored and shit.
The one I can't remember.
Greg Kinnear.
Brian says he saw Mystery.
Oh no.
Load him so I could look up and see showtimes for Mystery Men because me and my mom every summer.
Greg Kinnear.
Yeah. Me and my mom every summer went and saw a movie. So like I was so excited for Mystery Men and it's great. It's a great movie. That's a great poll. Good job. You win.
You win.
Everyone go home.
Well, Brian's coming up.
Whoa.
This never happens. I'm usually the one that gets owned. I don't usually own things.
Well, all right. Don't get cocky, kid.
I know. Yeah, I'm everybody gets one.
Relish the moment.
I'm relishing it. And
all right.
Sure,
where can people find you? And are you working on anything?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at BeatBusterBill. I'm always on there, sadly. But yeah, I'm working on a podcast. It's about conventions, and I decided to change its name. It's called Pros and Cons, and it is I decided to use one of Tom's names because it just sounds better. I really thought about it for a long time, and it should be coming out really soon. I just gotta work out a regular date and just test out some equipment. But yeah, it's coming along nicely. It's coming along. And
Billy, I'm thrilled that you picked my name, but the name was Pros at Cons.
I think his is fine.
No, I'm giving him a hard time. It's because he just did so well. Now I have to sweep it out from under him, like the
Leave
legs.
Billy alone.
He's wearing a Cobra Kai T-shirt. I have to sweep the legs.
Hey, I met Ralph Macchio in this shirt.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Oh yeah, he noticed right away, and he was
He
just
says
like,
I'm good at names.
also a cool dude. Not as tall as you think he is, but
Well, I'm sure we'll hear about it on a certain podcast.
yes, you will. And you guys are more than welcome to be guests.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely.
I would love to have
more
both you guys
experience
on.
than I do for sure, but
Yeah, I would love to have both you guys on. But yeah, that's coming along. And I'm thinking about writing something for the blog. I've been obsessed with one show on Netflix for a while, and I think it's hilarious. And yeah, I'm Big Mouth.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's not. It's like you don't think there's much to it, but I've noticed a lot of things on a rewatch.
All right. I've read differing opinions, so I haven't given it a chance. But maybe I'll watch the pilot.
To be fair, that was I Hate Everything that you were watching.
Yeah, but I'm pretty much on par with I Hate Everything. So, like, I usually agree with them on stuff. Like fidget spinners, I hate fidget spinners, and so does he.
Everyone does.
Everybody hates fidget
Anyway,
spinners.
yeah. Sorry. All right, Billy. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good night.
Have a great
guys.
night. I'm furious. I'm trying to remember what he said, but he's very Batman about it. He's like, I am the anger that flushes my cheeks.
I legitimately do really love that movie. All right. Oh.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Brian coming in here in a second.
An old veteran.
My buddy.
Sorry guys, this is just being a jerk right now.
All right.
Ironically, the one we probably already had saved in there.
Tom is not a high school child, because that would be not great for me.
Oh, the cops. This is fake.
Rage taking over, he said.
That's rage taking over.
My belt is in frame. It's always in frame. It's right there.
Why you gotta bring that up before Brian comes in?
Brian knows where it is. Me and Brian, like, we have no problems.
Brian had it in the exact same spot in his.
Brian's my dude. Hugs were had. Brian's proud of me.
And Brian's invite has been sent. Let's see.
Why don't you announce the director and stuff that we're doing next week? My favorite director of all time.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's Stanley Kubrick.
Bum, 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 bum. Brian, come in. Okay, I'm done. Once I hit a sharp note, I have to quit. That was
we
for
like
Cal.
Rocky and Apollo? Joe says about me and Brian. I suppose
More like Rocky and Bullwinkle.
You could say that. No, Rocky and Bullwinkle. What the damn hell?
No, you're Natasha. Troy says Kubrick is God. He certainly thought so. I sang because Cal was upset I didn't do the news music earlier.
Yeah, I did have to fight against Stanley Kubrick in that director round and defeated him
with my boy
with
Lynch.
David Lynch.
Oh, that was another one of my picks for old man action star, David Lynch. I have a suspicious set of skills.
Janine wants me to act like a fetus while you're doing this song.
Okay, ready? No.
To Mavis. Mavis is the fetus.
Okay, can you hold her like a fetus while I do
She's
this
better for
All right,
you.
Come here. Let's see if we can do this.
She's not gonna like this song.
Ba, 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 ba. Get your butthole out of my mouth. All right.
Edited for content here.
Censor bar.
Brian, did you get that invite?
My name is Domingo Montoya.
Inigo Montoya.
No, I am Diego's cousin. I was gonna say you killed my uncle. Prepared to die.
No.
Sometimes.
Can you hold her
not,
like a fetus?
I can't hold her and.
I think she's
yell.
just quoting you because I think you said that.
Can you hold her like this?
How does one hold a fetus?
But yeah,
This is disturbing.
I want Lynch to be my action star, and he's like, I've got a certain set of skills, and they're all great.
His skill is seducing beautiful French women.
in red shoes. No, but Kyle MacLachlan. I think he would be badass in
hell
a
yeah.
fucking like.
We just love that guy. He really can kind of like do no wrong with us.
All right, I'm gonna try Brian again. I accepted the invite. Oh no.
Well, that's not good.
Well, this isn't good at all. I'm gonna send you another one just in case. I don't know, Brian. This is unfortunate. It keeps lagging like somebody's trying to join.
In the chat to see if,
oh, that's true.
If he
all right, let's try it this way. I'm gonna put a link in the chat, Brian. If it won't let you in, just click that, and it should sneak you in. Please, no one else click that. It's VIP. It's a VIP link.
VIB, very important brides.
Very important Brian's. Now that worked. It wasn't Roseanne, it was Brian all along. Okay.
Can you hear me? Am I coming in?
You're coming in now, yeah.
Coming in.
Let me turn you up a little bit on my end.
My hot takes. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
You guys thought there was beef.
There's not
beef on the grill for our cookout, for our family cookout.
Me and Brian eating some snacks, maybe. That'll be the beef.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me find these questions. That's good. Well, yeah, it's been a while since you've been on, but we know you're like the action dude, so we had to have you on today.
I love action. Hell yeah, I love action movies. I love old action movies, you know. I love action movies from the 90s. Nice.
Well, yeah, I'm curious to see if you have some out-of-the-box answers, maybe, that people haven't mentioned yet. Okay, so TJ Dex asked us, what is the best action movie villain?
That was a good one, and I was racking my brain, and like you said, I didn't want to give the same answer as everybody else either. I'm sure you're gonna there's some classics, we all know them. I'm not even gonna name drop here. I don't know. I had an honorable mention. It's Gary Oldman from Air Force One. Ivan Korshimov, I think is his name. You might as well just call him, European villain, European terrorist guy. He's like if you mash together the guy from The Professional with the guy with Hans Gruber. You just sprinkle some Hans Gruber on there and boom. But he was great. But my real pick, this is a twofer, as Gary Busey as Commander Krill and Tommy Lee Jones as William Stranix, as they take over a ship in the best Die Hard knockoff and maybe the only good Steven Seagal movie. Probably the only good Steven Seagal movie. I'm just going to go ahead and say probably.
Nice. I like that.
He kills somebody in drag. There's an awesome knife fight with Tommy Lee Jones. So I just want to get those in there as key points for me.
Have you ever seen the Onion movie?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so the Onion, the satire journal, put out a movie, and it's right after 9/11, so it's very terrorist satire, you know what I mean? But it has Steven Seagal in it, and he's cock puncher is his and he's got a rooster on his back, and so it's funny, man. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I like I said, there's a very few Steven Seagal performances that probably hold up at all. I'm throwing Under Siege in the ring. Anything else, these villain performances save it for me.
Yeah, I always preferred the Jean-Claude Van Damme movies over the Steven Seagal stuff. My dad likes all that stuff, so I grew up watching it. But Van Damme was hot, and he has that sweet
right.
Sweet
he was always doing the splits. He had the buns and everything, right?
Yeah,
I got you.
Buns for days. All right, I cannot wait to hear what you have for this one. Billy asked us, what is the best one-liner in an action movie?
Well, it's appropriate that Billy asked this question because Billy has the right answer. It's the movie Commando, the whole movie. He was trying to hold back. I'll take a couple other ones because He didn't mention let off some steam, Bennett. He mentioned how great Bennett is, which he's right. The chainmail vest alone on Bennett, right? Like, is awesome. But when he throws the pipe through him and then it's let off some steam, that's awesome. And also, don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
Yeah.
Come on. That's incredible. Like, kills the guy and then puts his hat down and stuff.
I think Schwarzenegger and Punch just go hand in hand. I mean,
one-liners.
And
you could do a whole episode about Schwarzenegger one-liners, because I was thinking about Total Recall and Predator and T2. There's plenty of fertile ground for your guests to come. Arnold, I went ahead when I saw Billy. I came up with a second one that fed into my first honorable mention, which is Get Off My Plane, Harrison Ford in Air Force One. I think that's just, it's so specific to that movie, you know what I mean? And I just think Harrison Ford doesn't have a lot of lines.
No, besides like his like Star Trek ones, which you'll never get out
Star Trek
from under. But I speaking of Tommy Lee Jones, I think one of the best action, I guess it's like an action thriller, but one of my favorite Tommy Lee Jones lines is the "I don't care" from The Fugitive.
Absolutely. Under Siege is like a year before The Fugitive. I didn't even realize he was like just on the verge of breaking out and winning an Oscar when he played that weird rock and roll bad guy who gets in a knife fight with Steven Seagal. I was like, those are like less than a year apart.
Nice. Yeah, you weren't here when I gave my answers earlier, but I picked Get Away From Her, You Bitch, and I thought you'd like that one too.
So good. So good.
Have you seen Hobo with a Shotgun?
Yeah, I have seen Hobo with a Shotgun, actually. Only once, though, so I don't not well enough to quote it.
I picked out I'm going to sleep in your bloody carcass tonight. But...
That's a very deep cut.
It's endless. Okay, so what actor do you think has the potential to be the next, like, old man action star?
Oh, I tip my hand in the Twitter chat. I always do. I just like see these questions when people post them, and I just spew answers immediately. Like I can't help myself. It's like that movie fights mentality is like the first thing. You're like, oh, I have things to say. John Goodman would be a great old man. Now, obviously, we're talking about a different kind of action here. It would be more idea of him against a bunch of like John Wick style kung fu where he just takes a lot of hits and then grabs a guy and like throws him through a table or something, I want to use his like he's big and intimidating. He's still scary. 10 Cloverfield Lane was super scary. I think he can like have the physical presence. So I'm into that. Nice. And obviously acting chops, no question.
I mean, before seeing Michael Clark Duncan's Kingpin and especially Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, which is one of my top 3 villains in Marvel. I always pictured Goodman as being like one of those bruiser big guy who could pull off that role. So
absolutely, and he's had a couple roles like that. I would just like take it to the next level and give him some actual like hands-on physical shit to do on top of it. He played like mob boss or like kind of dirty criminal, so transfer over.
I see him as like a retired boxer who has to like
absolutely
right like
because this question is gender specific, I wanted to give a shout out to somebody who I thought made a very good old lady action hero. We talked a lot about the Expendables tonight, obviously like having a big ensemble cast of like older action heroes, but I also liked Red.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched that. I'm sure that Brian did.
Love Red, and the second one isn't that bad either. The first one is much better, but the second one is not too terrible too.
But Helen Mirren stood out to me. I thought she was awesome, and it was so cool to see her doing something so different because she's usually this like very proper, like excellent actress, and to see her like kicking ass in this movie was so tough, and I was a big fan of that. So I just wanted to shout her out since this is like a male specific question. So
and they didn't play up her age, but Atomic Blonde kicked ass. I don't know if you guys have seen Atomic Blonde with Charlize. I mean, it wasn't so much about her being older, but she was definitely like an experienced spy, and it's liked it. I mean, I don't know how it critically I don't really pay much attention.
I'm very surprised that I've only heard good things about that movie and from like a very diverse group of my friends, so we definitely have to check that out.
What it is like right around Suicide Squad is when we started getting all of those trailers matching songs with the gun sequences, and like it's such a gimmick. And Atomic Blonde had one like that, so I checked out right away.
Atomic Blonde does have like a really like, it's all set literally in Berlin, like right around when the wall's going down, so they don't shy away from like tons of like really super specific 80s music, but it works because of the setting and everything. I think it's fine. I think it really is appropriate. It sets the tone really well. So
yeah, I think it was something about the name Atomic Blonde that just like turned me off instantly.
I think
but
it's based on a comic. I don't remember what the comic name is though, so that's not a helpful piece of information at all.
But yeah, we're gonna check that out. That's definitely
Google that right now. You got Google. You know what to do.
Too many people have recommended
Goggle? What is this?
What is this? Oh, you meant Bing. You meant to say Bing.
Oh, jeez.
Lycos.
Okay, one more question for you tonight, buddy. And again, we appreciate you coming by tonight.
The invite. I wish I could come by more often. But you know, life and whatnot.
Yeah, adulting and such. I can't wait to hear where you go with this, because there's a lot. It's a pretty open question. What action movie do you think deserved a sequel that never got one?
It's funny because this movie is my go-to answer when anybody asks about a movie I wish had a sequel. It just happens to be an action movie, so I got lucky. I was like, oh, sweet, I don't have to think hard at all. I have a go-to answer, and that's The Rundown, starring The Rock, Sean William Scott, Rosario Dawson, Christopher Walken. It's just a really fun, The Rock, they were like a little early. He didn't quite break out for a couple more years. But this should have been the movie that made him, as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's hilarious. He's really funny in it. His timing's all there. Like, all the stuff we love about The Rock is there. He's just not quite as huge, but he's still huge. Funny with Sean William Scott. The action's really good. A lot of good, like, hand-to-hand stuff, and then when the final action sequence breaks out, it's a really great, long, extended, ridiculous kind of thing. So, like we all love in action movies.
I mean, I think it has probably one of the most threatening villains in
yeah, Christopher Walken in that one.
Oh man, he's great.
Team of whip-based henchmen too. He's got a great team of henchmen that they're all whip-based abilities and like varying levels of. That's awesome, and it provides some really sweet action sequences too.
Yeah, I remember that one being
also
fun. My mom, I don't know if my mom would like consider herself an action movie person, but just like I feel like there's been a lot of experiences where I walk into a room and my mom is watching action movies. Like, I would consider her an action fan. And The Rundown was one that, like, if it was on TV, she was watching it. So I've seen that one like a half a dozen times easy. And that one I remember being super fun. And, like, who doesn't like The Rock, man? He really seems like the nicest guy in the world.
Absolutely. This movie, I think they could easily still do. The guy who directed it, Peter Berg, is way active. He's the guy who works with Mark Wahlberg all the time. He did, like, Patriot Day and Deepwater Horizon and Lone Survivor, which I don't really watch those type of movies, but he's an active director who is, like, movies and can do his thing. Rock, obviously a huge star. You could bring back some people from the cast or recast the whole thing. All you really need is The Rock, and you could set up a whole new cast of people around him with just a very similar premise. It's so easy. I really want them to do this.
I mean, they have such chemistry, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what's important to action movies, is you need to like the character. Otherwise, you're just watching them destroy stuff, and you're like, all right. Like, if Jason Statham wasn't likable and Crank, you would like be rooting for the cops the entire time. But I lost my thought.
Yeah, I think that movie, like pitching that and hearing that now with the success that The Rock has had more recently and stuff, that could potentially make way more money than the first one, I think.
Oh, definitely. And like I said, you could cast it with people. And hell, he likes working with Mark Wahlberg. Peter Berg likes working with Wahlberg so much. Put Wahlberg in it. You know what I mean? You team up The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. You could have them as competing guys going for the same rundown, and the whole thing is they're chasing the same mark. Or maybe The Rock has to keep the guy away from Mark Wahlberg. It's so easy. It seems like a handle. You could just like print money with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was going to say was, The Rundown isn't the only movie that Sean William Scott and The Rock are in. I go to this movie all the time. It's a weird
here
pull.
he goes.
And it's called Southland Tales. It's by the director Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, I remember Southland Tales.
I love that movie. Anyway, but I'm weird. Anyway,
I really like Valerian, so who am I to judge anybody, right?
I haven't seen it, but I wanna see it just to see, like Avatar, see it. You know what I mean?
Savor
Like,
it,
I'm not really
savor, yeah, those visuals. It's a really impressive sci-fi world, if nothing else.
That's awesome. But
Southland Tales.
Southland Tales. Oh, but like, does Sean William Scott really have anything else going on that he can't come back and do the Rundown?
The only reason I think they would recast it is because he's not a big star anymore. Like, if he was still a thing, they would bring him back, but I think they would recast now with somebody. Hell, they probably put Kevin Hart in it right now. It's like, whatever. I don't want him to do that. I would prefer. I like my idea with adding Wahlberg, but
we like Zac Efron a lot, and that's who I vote for.
I think the main reason I wanted it to be competing teams. I wanted to see like two duos go at each other, and that's why I was like, who could I match up with Mark Wahlberg, who would be like the anti Sean William Scott?
But Zac Efron, if we're going with that for the sake of argument, like that dude who is a rising star and is obviously very attractive and like has his audience and stuff, like he could totally be an action star. Like that dude is jacked and he's not doing that type of thing at all. Like I think it would be cool
that's
to see
true.
him
He's not really doing. Yeah, he hasn't.
He's very versatile.
Either way, I don't care. I'll watch if they take a shot at it. I'll check it out. Whoever they cast in it, you know what I mean. I'll give it if they will bring it back and give me my sequel, I'll go watch it.
I feel like you should start tweeting at The Rock. He might respond.
He's pretty friendly. It's true.
He is.
He's so nice.
But that was all the questions, right?
That was all of them, but I just don't want to let Brian go yet.
I know. Why don't you tell us if you're working on anything, buddy, or where people can find you?
You can find me on Twitter. You know how I do. I'm at Hurstchillies. I'm, spitting those red hot takes. I can't help myself. I am, DVD bunker is dormant. We shuttered the doors on the bunker for a little bit, just taking a little rest. It is going to come back, hopefully starting with the re-release of some older episodes, some uncut versions on, we have a / wherever you listen to podcasts thing, you can find Bunker on there. There's a couple episodes uploaded, only like 3 or 4. Or it's going to happen. I keep talking about it. If I talk about it enough, I'm going to have to do it or I'll embarrass myself. So I'm just going to keep saying it out loud. So, but that's going to happen. And then I'm going to start making new episodes also. So that's going to come back.
Awesome. Yeah. And maybe we'll get you on like a TV 3-way or something sometime.
Okay, sounds good.
That's not a good 3-way phase.
I just like hanging out with you guys. I'm just,
I know we miss you. It feels like it's been so long.
Well, we have one stop on our tour planned.
Yeah, we do want to. When we move, we want to hopefully stop and come see you real quick.
Just cruise on through, just kind of angle your driving through.
Yeah, one of the paths takes us right through you, so watch out,
Brian.
You can come right on through, Tom, anytime.
Just call me Trip Disc.
Oh, jeez.
All
right, buddy. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you soon.
Have me, guys. Bye.
Bye. He's the best around.
So yeah, if you're looking for more of those spicy red hot takes, you know where to find them.
High School Musical isn't an action movie. I mean, he seemed to do all right for himself in that movie.
He wasn't jacked at that time. He's all tan.
It was all in his legs. He had dancer's legs. All right. Up next, we have Tom Zambino. Tom, you still around? Oh, I see him in the chat. Okay. So, let's see here. I think I remember his email.
So nice to see Brian.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Beef squashed.
There was no beef. Tenderized.
The thing about me and Brian is like we like to make sure that people get entertained. So we're like a couple of pro wrestlers. The banter makes it more hype. is what I'm saying.
Mavis
He's
agrees.
a true champion, though.
Look how cute this cat is.
Respect to Brian. He's a true champion. You'll get to see Mavis when we drive through.
I'm not excited for that at all. All right. Checking out the chat. Oh, hi, Raul.
Raul.
Oh, hi, Jonathan.
Raul wants Jensen to be the next old man action star.
I don't hate it. I still want him to be Jason Todd. It's fine.
Joe said that Jensen Ackles is the most beautiful Texan. What? Oh, okay. I think I figured out your riddle, Tom. You and your riddles. Is he riddling again? He can't help himself, this guy.
I got it. I found the riddle. Oh, it's exactly the same place he sent it to me last time. I should have just checked.
Other than Ashley, the most beautiful Texan other than Ashley.
She goes, "Oh, really, Joe? I'm right here." You ever forget what you're doing? Like, just with, like, life. We were watching this crazy documentary about a guy who, like, has the most severe case of amnesia. He has, like, a 7-second...
He's literally like that dude in 50 First Dates.
Yeah, except it's not like a joke. Like, he's very aware. He, like, compares it to being dead because he has no consciousness of knowing what came before. He's like, oh, you're the first human person I consider ever seeing because I don't remember any other. Like, but, like, it's weird because there's, like, he knows who his wife is. And he knows who his son is, but he can't remember his son's name. It's crazy. It's weird. He got into a weird accident. When I got sick, it was weird. Hi, Tom. I brought you in on such a light note.
I didn't hear half that story, so I have no clue what the note is.
Oh, I was just talking about really sad amnesia, like sad amnesia, maybe.
Well then,
but all right. Well, I have a feeling some of these answers may fit a certain theme. I could be wrong.
Like kick up the action a bit.
Let's kick up. Let's throw it into the next gear, if you will.
I see what you did there.
Third. I'll just throw one out.
I mean, third is the money here.
That's what I do in the snow. That's all I know. I don't know if that's good, but all right. TJ Dex wants us to know, who is the best villain in an action film?
You see, there are many of them, and we've avoided cliches for a while, but I'm gonna have to end that one with the T-1000 from T2.
Yes.
Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. He's frankly a bit more menacing than Arnold, even in the first one. He's more powerful. The effects aren't weird and rubbery. It was a landmark achievement in cinema, and Robert Patrick is awesome. And it also made an appearance in Wayne's World. And how many action villains can say that?
That is true. My favorite appearance in Wayne's World is Al Bundy at the donut shop. How come when a man kills another man in the heat of passion?
Don't forget Charlton Heston as the good actor at the gas station in Wayne's World 2.
Oh yeah, Wayne's World 2 is such a blur. I just remember a lot of forms. That's all I remember.
Honestly, for the longest time, I thought that was from the first Wayne's World, but then I was watching Wayne's World and I'm like, where's Charlton Heston? I thought he was in this.
I don't know, but that is a movie I need to rewatch. We should do an SNL episode of all the SNL movies they've done. They've done a lot.
They've done a lot, not many good, but you can make a show out of that.
Come on. Anyway. All right, next question is, and I completely agree with the T-1000 aspect. Not only can he, like, change forms. He can mimic voices, although he'll make you call out to your kid, even though he can mimic your voice. That was weird. But
and to this day, I have to keep going about the T-1000. There have been three Terminator movies after this. He is still the most badass Terminator villain. They've tried to improve, but they keep getting worse.
yeah. Oh, the female villain who was like half T-1000, half Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the third one, that was horrible.
They took the design and they made it worse. How can we make this a little more inconvenient?
Yeah, I mean that cop was so good at that role, playing like the main version of T-1000, that I was very put off with him. When Mulder left X-Files and he came on, I was like, I can't do it. This guy's just T-1000. Like, that's all I can see. All right, next question. Billy asks, what is your favorite one-liner?
Favorite movie one-liner is 4 words, and it's the most unexpected one-liner of all time. It's "Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpus" from Last Action Heroes.
I love Last Action Hero. John was just talking about it in the chat too, and
it's
of course that was
so
my
fantastic
villain.
And Arnold gets so many cheesy one-liners, but the fact that he so obviously and points out in the movie subverting that, I bet you're thinking I'm going to say some sort of one-liner. But guess what? Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpus.
I love the way that movie is just, it's meta before meta was a thing. Like it acknowledged tropes like the oil not sticking to the clothes. I love that movie so much. It's such a cool, like, not a criticism, just like Hot Fuzz is a very clever homage to the action genre, but like Last Action Hero is just like the homage to the camp of action, which I think is, well, if you haven't seen it, it was
in the heart. It was in the heart of the ridiculous action movie, so that was what they had to work with for their version. So they worked on the ridiculous action tropes, and like you said, it's way ahead of its time. It's probably why it didn't do so well and didn't get such a very good following until later on. But it was before its time. We talked about Mystery Men, but a lot of these action movies sometimes a little too groundbreaking for their own good.
Yeah, for sure. Sad. All right. Number 3 is what actor has the potential to be the next old action star? We'll make it cross-gender, not cross-gender, that's something else. But,
gender neutral.
There we go.
Fair enough, but I'm kind of surprised no one said it so far. I hope no one has, but the only name that kept flowing through my head was Daniel Day-Lewis. Yes. I want to see him just go mad, drop the I'm gonna work at a job for years before I do a role thing, and just go mad, jump right into an action role. I want to see Bill the Butcher in an action movie. That's what I want to see.
Daniel Day-Lewis, in preparation for his action movie, actually starts killing people.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Oh my god.
He made a whole dress. He learned how to make a whole dress for Phantom Thread. Like, he's amazing. I have nothing but amazing things to say about Daniel Day-Lewis, and I'm digging that idea. I think that's really cool.
He's retiring with this one.
Yeah, right? He's retiring, but
maybe it's a Jet Li retire. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like
retiring. What
Tom is doing, but I like that a lot. That'd be cool.
He's Jean-Claude Van Damme retired. All right. Yeah, no, that's a great pick. And the last question, number 4. What action movie deserved a sequel but never got one?
I'm so lucky that I've been holding on to this one because I didn't realize there were that many of them. But I keep ringing through Commando. It's been brought up several times. I think it's getting a remake, which is close, but I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it ever got a true blue sequel.
I don't think so.
Like every other Arnold movie, every other Stallone movie got a sequel, but they couldn't give one to Commando? It's so easy. Just have Arnold do another thing wearing army gear. That's all they had to do. It was literally just point and click.
For sure. There's a lot of opinions, and Billy is saying that everyone needs to rewatch Commando because
I agree. It's axe and cheese at its best.
all right. Well, I know you. Did you have something else to say?
No, the chat's just getting really interesting about Daniel Day-Lewis and stuff. I'm getting a little distracted.
Eric Ostemacher wants to remind everyone that Junior never got a sequel.
We don't want to talk about that one.
Taken 4, but Liam Neeson is kidnapped by Daniel Day-Lewis.
And Daniel Day-Lewis is like, I got a particular set of skills. I'm a method actor. All right. I know you just did your popcorn awards. You want to tell everyone about that?
Yeah, yesterday we did the first annual Cars and Popcorn Awards where I talked about movies and gave out awards that I made up. I did it instead of doing like a favorite car movies or top 10 movies of 2017. So I thought that would be a lot of fun. So go check that out on my channel. You can you can follow me on Twitter. I'm assuming everyone else already does. And a little jumbled because it's kind of late and I'm tired. And yeah, I forgot to do a lower third, but Rograder 3 on Twitter, Zed Reviews on YouTube, all that jazz.
Cool.
Yeah, and you can get to his YouTube channel by looking at our featured channels right on the right-hand side bar of your screen. There's a bunch of other channels who pop on here. Eric Ostemacher's on there, Geeks My Nerds on there. A lot of our friends. So check that out, follow them, and support their content. Tom, thank you so much for joining us as always. It's been a blast.
Always a pleasure.
And we will see you soon.
Do you have a one-liner before you go?
I'm just gonna use Rubber Baby Buggy Bumpers.
Oh, we were looking for I'll be back.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Lots of love for Running Man in the chat.
Yusuf, you still around, bud? I need your email. Give it to me. Give me your secrets, Yusuf. No go. I tried. Do it.
Do it.
I think I want to see Stanley with a Tommy gun in Deadpool 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who I think will be great when they're older for that stuff. Like, I'm all for, like, old Tom Hardy or, like, old Benedict Cumberbatch or something. Like, I'm into all of that.
I picked Tom Holland. I'm going to give him
room in like 100 years?
I'm going to give him room to grow. I'm looking forward to Hugh Jackman in the future. He could be a pretty badass old action star.
Hugh Jackman realizing he didn't win a Golden Globe for that was, like, my spirit animal. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but the like gifs of him are priceless when Franco won. What?
Weird. Okay, for some reason it's not even letting me plug in your email address, so I'm gonna put in the link into the chat. Go ahead and click that bad boy. And good night, Tom. Go ahead and click the link in the chat. Only Yusuf.
Benedict Cumberbatch should be our next Vincent Price. I see Benedict Cumberbatch aging into being a classic. He has such a beautiful face and such a wonderful villainous voice. Like, and I still want him to play Vincent Price in a biopic. That would be my ultimate if I could pick any movie. That's what I'm pitching. So that's where I see him, not Christopher Plummer, more Vincent Price, hopefully.
You know who else I would trust to do a Vincent Price? He's the German guy in Inglourious Basterds, Christopher Waltz.
No.
Yeah, he could nail the voice. I trust him with that. The voice is very important for Vincent Price.
And Cumberbatch is there. He's got this.
Vincent Price. I can't do it.
Cumberbatch is an amazing impressionist. If you guys haven't seen him
Yeah,
doing
I
impressions,
guess he's an okay actor.
he's amazing.
I guess he's
And-
better than me.
And his face, like, I don't know, he's got something very like old Hollywood, Universal Studios monster look to me. Crowley from Supernatural, Mark Shepard, I believe his name is, would be a fantastic action villain. I'm down for
Who's
that.
Mark Shepard? Huh. We're having some issues with
Yusuf here.
getting Yusuf in here. I don't know why. What are you using to call in? Maybe that's the thing. I don't know.
But Mark Shepard is in like everything that's good and sci-fi
There we go.
like ever. So
Yeah, I was able to send it that time, so look out for an invite. Sorry to interrupt you. But he's a great Doctor Who.
yeah, he's great in a lot of things. He's all over the place.
He was in X-Files as that fire starter.
He's in everything. Go to his Wikipedia; it will blow your
I
mind.
keep saying error. Weird. I'm sorry, Yusuf. I know you've been waiting all night.
Janine says that she wants Benedict Cumberbatch and John Hamm teaming up for some eggs Benedict with a side of ham. I've had dreams like that.
And the movie's called Break Fast and the Furious.
The movie's called Kimber and Janine Wrote This Together.
And then the sequel will be called Second Breakfast and the Furious.
Second Breakfast. Now we're getting into a little bit of Lord of the Rings
I know,
in there
because
as well.
they hit a portal that brings them into a fantasy realm. And then you have John Hamm with a sword.
I like it. John Hamm with a sword, like I'm sold right there.
That's all you need.
That's like saying Benedict Cumberbatch on a horse. Like
That's included too.
I would faint. I couldn't handle all that.
There's a movie with him on a horse.
Whew.
I'll show you. Wait a minute.
Nothing yet. It let us send a thing.
Huh. All right. Maybe we're gonna go to the next caller, and then we'll try again, Yusuf. After that.
Sorry,
Sometimes
we are trying.
It could be you might need to refresh your browser if you're not using Chrome. It gives you a hard time sometimes.
The next callers will be Cal, Dell if she wants to, TJ, and Raul. That's the upcoming list. And is that John is?
Yeah, if you'd like to call in.
John Hamm all Aragorned out. Like that, and then like
I don't want to
like Benny all Legolas out.
I don't like the long hair.
I love the long hair.
It doesn't make sense in a fight.
Getting haircuts doesn't make sense in a fantasy setting.
Yes, it does.
No.
They have scissors.
That's why Samwise the Brave is a gardener, not a barber.
What?
How are they getting haircuts if they're freaking venturing up a mountain for like 3 years?
They have swords.
But then you get like the Prince Valiant. It's not like a good... You get the Foxy Shazam.
You realize that Dean Winchester has perfect stubble at all times, even when he's like locked in like underground tomb for like a week.
Stop it. Hey, Cal.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up with you?
Chilling. I have to go into school late tomorrow, so that's why I am up.
Awesome.
Good. Well, I'm glad you can kill some time with us. You ready for these great questions?
Yep.
All right. TJ asks, who's the best villain from an action film?
I'm actually gonna go with a family and go with the Grubers. So Hans and Peter Gruber from the Die Hards. I thought that was a good combo. I like how they brought it back, like in the third movie.
Yeah. I mean, we just recently, this is like the 2-year anniversary was like what, yesterday of Alan Rickman?
It was this week, yeah, of Alan Rickman passing.
I mean, yeah, iconic. I'm going to go Hal on that. Not Cal, Hal.
I think both Alan Rickman and Jeremy Irons are great actors, so.
Oh, yeah.
And they both play great villains, so, I mean.
Yeah, like Scar.
Yes.
Sorry. All right. No, great answer. What is your favorite one-liner?
Okay, so it's like a one-liner, but it's like a pause in between when he says it. So, but it's a one-liner. Let me bring it up. And I know Joe's gonna love it because it's one of my favorite lines from Final Fantasy Advent Children. And it's when Sephiroth says, "Tell me what you cherish most. Give me the pleasure of taking it away." I think that's such a badass statement that he says, and I think it's so good. It's so
Yeah, and
beautiful.
shout out to Joe because he did say in the chat earlier that Sephiroth was his choice for his favorite villain. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope
I like his
TJ's
song, by the way. That's one of my favorite like villain songs. My brother used to have it on his ringtone on his phone.
Like Sephiroth,
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope TJ's still in the chat because there's something I want to bring up soon. But if we're gonna do a certain secret project that had to talk about Advent Children, would you want to be on that episode?
Sure. I love Advent Children. I'd have to watch it again because I haven't seen it in a while, but I love that movie and I love Final Fantasy VII. It's my favorite game, and Sephiroth is my favorite villain. I like several posters of him up on my wall, so
I know.
he's great.
Figured I'd ask.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I love him so much.
Cool. I'll write it down. And whenever TJ magically shows up, I might talk about things. If not, never. It's a secret. And
Joe's salty that you're not inviting him to talk about it.
Oh, Joe, trust me. There's a reason. There'll be. I'm gonna watch Spirits Within with you, Joe. Because that one's so much better.
You give him the lesser of the movies, the Final Fantasy movies.
Shh, don't tell him.
Sorry.
No, there's. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I don't. It's not even my thing. Anyway, who has the most potential to be our next old man action star?
Okay, so I didn't realize it was an old man, and I really did choose Helen Mirren as my answer. And I didn't know it was old man until you guys said, "Oh, it was like a old man question." So I rethought it, and I was like, "Think of some great actors I really enjoy," and I have two, and they can go hand in hand because they've been in a lot of movies together. One's been in a few action movies, and it's going to be in a few more coming up. But like, I feel like the majority of their work, his work, or both of their works, is dramas. So I'm going to go with Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio. I can see
Tom
them.
Hardy. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like to see Leo get because he was great in Departed.
Yeah, but I still think that's a drama movie, more crime drama as opposed to action. You know, I think those
yeah,
would be good.
I mean, he's definitely got the chops to do whatever he wants, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like he can fit into anything that you put him into. I think the most action he's seen in the movie is when he's been attacked by the bear in Revenant. I think. I'm not even sure, but I think that would be it.
That I would want the bear to have some sort of like nunchaku.
But Tom Hardy, man, like
so
I love that dude. I think he's a really good actor, and I hope that his freaking Venom movie or
I hope
whatever
so
isn't terrible. But he's so good in Bronson that it makes me sick. Like, he's so good. We were just watching some interviews with the actual Charles Bronson and stuff, talking to Tom Hardy and like how he beefed up for the role and like all the preparation that they did together. And that dude is like a real actor, and he is a badass when he wants to be. So like, I'm all about like old Tom Hardy continuing to kick asses into the future. So
yeah,
I like
Tom Hardy is my favorite actor. I love him so much. He's so good. I love him in every movie he's in and everything. That's why, like I said, like that Venom is my favorite villain in Marvel. So I'm, or anti-hero, whatever you want to call him. So I would love to see how he does, and I hope he does well.
The great thing about Venom is they think that they are the hero and that Spider-Man's the bad guy. So that's what makes him so great, is because he, like, because it's taken place in San Francisco, and during that era he was a protector. He was like much like Spawn, where like, yeah, he'll stop a guy from stealing a purse, but he's gonna kill that dude. He's just a delight. They are.
Yeah, I love him.
All right. Last question. What is the best action? Man, why do I keep saying that? What action movie deserves a sequel but never got one?
I'm so glad no one picked it, and I was so nervous that somebody would pick it, and I'm so glad. Imagine a sequel where there's more problems in a specific area. Big Trouble in Little China, but now it's just bigger trouble in a not so much Little China area. But still, I think it'd be great. And it kind of ends in a cliffhanger, that movie, in a way. So I think there could be a great sequel. I love Big Trouble in Little China. I watched the movie so many times as a little kid. So good, so good. I don't
Would
know.
you call it Bigger China in smaller? Wait, Bigger
Bigger
Trouble
Trouble.
in Smaller China? Oh no, it could be More Trouble in Bigger China, and then he goes to China.
Actual China.
Yeah, he actually goes to China. That'd be great. Man, I love that movie, and just because like the supernatural mystic aspect of it too makes it great. Like, and the cultural aspect, it's so fun. It's such a fun. It's comedy, it's action, love, everything. The Big Trouble in Actual China. That's what Eric Osmacher just said. Yeah.
I think another, maybe even the third movie could be Slight Mishap at the China Shop. And it's Kurt Russell, and he accidentally knocks over like $1,000 in China.
And then they could have a tie-in with the Gremlins too, because it could be in that store.
He has to replace the China by going in to visit that guy. He teams up with Amagui. Maybe Gizmo's dad. It's a prequel where we can Ripley Scott.
Yeah, that won't turn into like all the Star Wars Christmas special with all the old Chewies or anything. Now you're getting like old Mogwai named like Stinky and shit. Like,
excuse me.
Joe wants it to be called Immeasurable Trouble in Actual China. That's a good title. That's part 3 of the trilogy.
Yeah, he's like trying to save people in China, but Mulan just comes in, and the Emperor's like, Mulan did so much more than you, Kurt Russell.
Oh, right.
And it has both eyes. One? Wait. No, he has both eyes in that. He has one eye in Escape LA and Escape LA. Never mind. Yeah, those are all the questions. What's going on with you, buddy?
So we just had a Gamer Grudge season 2 premiere. We're having more episodes next week. Aftermath comes back it's supposed to be the 29th, but since we're going to actually be at Royal Rumble, Raw, and SmackDown, we're going to be delaying that episode. However, Flashpoints comes back this Friday, so check that out. I'll be recording it on Thursday or Friday and putting it up. And I've been doing Kingslaying every day, so currently I'm playing Fractured Butthole, which I love saying. So check that out. Usually 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. And you can always subscribe to the Kingslayer Network and find me on Twitter at VeeranjaDejaVu down there.
Great. And again, you can find a link to the Kingslayer Network right there on the side with all the other featured content. Thank you so much, Cal, for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Meanwhile.
We'll see you in 25 years.
Bye.
Bye.
That gum you like's back in style. Realize the giant from Twin Peaks is Lurch from the Addams Family movie? I don't know if you're watching this, but what? Anyway, who's up next? We got
It's like the inconvenience at the airport for joining flight.
Okay, so Amy left. Joe and Ashley said they're not calling in. Delisha, I
haven't seen her in a minute.
Want to call in? TJ, I hope you're around, buddy. Philadelphia, I think left. So Raul, Troy, if you want to call in. Jonathan, if you'd like to call in.
Let's get Raul in because he definitely wanted to call in.
Did? Okay.
And TJ, if you're here, let us know in the chat and we'll get you in as well.
Because I miss you, buddy. We need the triple Tom.
See, Raul comes up perfect. No problem there. That guy.
That's because he pays the big bucks to get in.
It's because he's so charming. The thing's like, oh, I remember him. He's a sweet boy.
Yeah. But I wasn't kidding when I said the big bucks. He is a patron producer of our content. And if you're interested in supporting Odd Shape Channel, you can check out patreon.com/oddshapechannel.
Patreon.com.
If you're digital on dice. Which,
and yeah, Raul, we did send you an invite. So hopefully we'll see you in a moment here.
We'll see what line for what movie he's in.
We'll talk about Jensen.
Yeah, John. Once you're up on the roster, which I think is next. So, hi, Raul.
Big bucks, but I have a crappy computer.
No problem.
All right. Well, We'll try to keep it on you, and we'll get through this. We hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yeah. Like talking about Danny Day-Lewis, I'm gonna see Phantom Thread in like 40 minutes.
Oh, all right. Well, we better hurry up. Let us know how it is. So we want to know who is the best villain in an action film.
That is a good one. I'm between the guy from Half Past and, of course, Alan Rickman in Die Hard.
Yes.
Both good choices.
Both great choices. Do you have a favorite one-liner from an action movie?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nice.
So
no one
iconic.
said that tonight yet. What do you like about that one?
It's so random. That's the thing that I like from that.
I like it because
John Connor says "Hasta la vista, baby," and then Arnold does in the best moment, like shooting the T-1000. Hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, it's great that the Arnold bot learned his one-liners from John Connor. I love the he'll live, because John's like, don't kill anybody, and he shoots the dude in the knee, and he's like, he'll live.
You get a little like a little bit of Spanish.
Oh yeah,
in there too.
All right. Who has the potential to be our next old man or woman action star?
I would say a man, Jensen Ackles, because first, Jensen, I hope, even though I love Supernatural, but Supernatural needs to have an ending. I would like them to get to season 14, to episode 300, that's it. And I would like to see Jensen Ackles to do movies, because he wanted to be Captain America, also Hawkeye. I think also he auditioned for Superman. And so it would be good to see Jensen Ackles in action movies.
Yeah, I agree with you. And he's going to be like, he's already like, obviously a super attractive guy. And I think he's just going to keep aging to be like a fine wine, you know? So I would love to see him like as an old, disgruntled, like badass. I think that would really suit him.
Yeah, and also no one wants Sam as the big star. Jensen has to break out after Supernatural.
Yeah, it was kind of refreshing to see somebody who loves Sam, though, because almost everybody I know and everybody that I've met in the fandom either love like Castiel or Dean, obviously. But I've never met somebody who's like, no, Sam. So that was cool.
And I would like to see Viola Davis in an action movie. I don't count Suicide Squad. No, I want it in a really action movie. I want to see her kick ass and killing people. Kind of like a Tommy Blonde or John Wick.
Yeah,
so that would be my
that's
two
really
choices.
interesting.
A man and a woman.
Very cool.
Yeah, great picks. Excuse me, sorry. Next question is, what action movie deserved a sequel but never got one?
That is a hard one, because for me, all of the action movies that I have seen, they got sequels. Like, it's rare to see one that it doesn't have one. But I'm still, even though it's like alright, but I would really like to see a half-a sequel.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
like,
I
had to
that
make myself not pick Hot Fuzz for every answer, but I would absolutely watch a Hot Fuzz sequel.
Yeah, because imagine Nick Frost making a parody of all of the Liam Neeson movies right now, and all of the Fast and Furious. It would be so hilarious. And it's especially trying to do like a Vin Diesel like turn with the small cars in London. It would be hilarious.
And Edgar Wright could even have like a moment and roast himself about Baby Driver in there, like get meta with it.
Even Ansel Elgort could make a cameo. He could be the villain. That would be cool.
See, now you sound like Nolan, who is obsessed with Ansel Elgort.
Shots fired.
I'm not obsessed with Ansel Elgort, but he's hot, and so he also needs to be in more movies. So
nice.
All right, well, that's all 4 questions, Raul. What do you got going on, bud?
Well, right now, the Monday show is in a little hiatus, but still you can visit the other episodes and also visit the old tough episodes also the Geek to Minor episodes, and also all of the BFFs, and also all the past OSPs, and also I don't know if Jack has told us, but stuff's gonna come back on February, right?
I haven't seen an official announcement yet, but I know there is more fights coming. Speaking of action.
Yeah, and so especially I'm still waiting for Jack to get my invitation to come back because I want my record to not be 4 losses and 0 wins.
Aw.
Well, I will put in the good word for you, bud, to make sure you get on there. I love your fighting style, which is called the and also defense.
Yeah, like my by the way that I fight is improvised. I don't prepare anything.
All right. Well, where can people find you on Twitter if they want to talk to you?
You can find me Raul later RTC, and also check out all of the OSP content and Teen Slayer and everyone else.
Raul just wants you to live your life on YouTube, and so do we. Thank you so much, Raul, for coming in and always supporting us. We love you.
And enjoy your movie.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, Raul.
Bye. I wonder if you have to make a dress to watch the movie.
I love Raul. He's
All
the
right.
best. And,
I know.
we got to sit in Baby with Raul, which was a cool experience.
That was really cool. We got pictures.
I should have told him that when we move to Austin, we're going to go to Jensen's Bar. We have to get Raul to come visit us sometime and go to Jensen's Bar with us. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we haven't really, I guess, because some people were surprised when we said it online. We are moving to Austin, Texas in May. So expect a few changes coming to the channel. I'm kind of trying to cast a bigger net and including new people. And man, TJ knows how to segue. So we'll get him in here, and then we'll close out the show with John. Let me see if I can call him. But
yeah, when we move to Austin, you'll have to bear with us too, because obviously we'll be moving and our work schedules will be different. I know I for one will be working a lot more. But we're definitely going to be doing content, and OSP is not going anywhere. So
yeah, and we're hopefully we'll be able to do things, because the thing is, there's nothing to do up here, and we're just sitting here all the time. And as much as we love making content live and stuff, we like to go and explore places and stuff too. So if you ever see something you like online about Austin, throw it our way. We might be interested. But that being said, go ahead and hit that link, TJ, in the chat. So you may have already noticed that we started doing a lot of audio. What's up?
Ashley's Theater is doing a black tie screening of Phantom Thread. That's dope. I like that.
Do you make your own ties?
What were you saying?
I was talking about. You may have noticed that we've kind of switched formats up. We're doing a lot more audio content. It's a lot easier on us. I think it's easier to record, honestly, because you're just having a conversation like you're on the phone.
The sound quality is better.
Exactly. You don't have to compensate for video and stuff like that. So we hope you're enjoying them. Kimber is heading the US reboot of TV Three-Way.
Yes, with Matt. And you'll probably, I see Ashley mentioning that they're going to be very close to us as well, and we do plan on visiting them and them visiting us, so maybe you'll get a lot more crossover content between us and Geek to My Nerd as we hopefully videotape some adventures and maybe go check out more movies together and do stuff like our Wonder Woman review that we did together. So prepare for more of us and Ashley and Joe teaming up, hopefully, once we move. Should be awesome. Everything should be better. We shouldn't be as poor. It should be an upgrade in general. Oh, it's doing the same thing to TJ today.
Yeah, let's try it this way. So yeah, that's TV Three-Way. Next one's going to be released on Monday if all goes well.
And that's It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Toys That Made Us, and Flight of the Conchords, which I think are all great shows. And that will be with me, Matthew Whitaker, and Morgan Robinson.
And then Eric Ossemacher and I have also started the Downed Pilot podcast, which is a podcast about pilots that never get off the ground and picked up by networks. And we watched a lot of fun stuff so far. We watched Dan Harmon's Heat, Vision, and Jack, which is on the top of our list right now, is the best one. And we also have talked about Aquaman for the WB or CW, Wonder Woman for NBC, I think it was. And tomorrow we'll be releasing the podcast discussing Pride of the X-Men from 1989, distributed by ABC, animated by animated by, oh my god, they're like part of my, what's the animation studio that starts with a T in Japan?
The animation studio?
Yeah, you're the wrong person. It's not important. We say it in the podcast. Go listen tomorrow and find out. Toei Animation. Anyway. Hi, Janine.
Definitely the wrong person to ask for that one.
It depends how busy we are. My coat. It depends how. Toei Animation. Thank you. Depends how busy we are in May. I'm sure at the very least, if we end up seeing it together, which I think is the plan, seeing Infinity War with Joe and Ashley. Did we talk about that?
If we're there, I'm not going to hold them up.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it works out. But even if it's not something, my birthday is that month. Even if we're not doing something like big and live here on the couch or there on the couch, maybe we'll do something in the car after we watch it. We'll always try to keep you involved because you guys are pretty much our lives. Which is cool. Look at that. And we have another podcast coming to the channel, and that's going to be head by my good buddy here, TJ. But before we get into that, you want to talk some action movies?
Let's talk some action movies.
All right. I just got to adjust your volume a little bit.
Am I too loud?
Nope. You're a little soft, but that's my end because my speakers are low.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All right. Question one comes from you.
Nice.
And you, who is the best villain from an action film?
Cal took it from me. I was going to do a T-1000 all night, but no one said Predator, so I'm going to go Predator. Stick with that. The ultimate hunter. Yeah. That was the guy.
Jungle Predator or Urban Predator?
Well, Urban Predator is a little bit more scarier because that would actually be him maybe in my environment. I wouldn't find myself in a jungle unless I had to go out there.
That's a good point. Do you have a favorite one-liner from an action film?
Yeah. This one I used when we used to have AOL Instant Messenger, the default away messages, and I would do the from Blade. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. Such a good one. That one I used so many times and so many unnecessary moments that it was good.
Nice. All right. I'm looking forward to your answer on this one. Who has the potential to be our next old man or woman action star?
All right. So I'm going to do a weird play off this one. What I want to do is do a movie. We're going to link up Rick Moranis. I'm going to play off my Twitter answer. I'm going to do Rick Moranis teams up again with Ed O'Neill, kind of play off the Little Giants thing where they get a team together and maybe some domestic terrorists attack the arena. They have to team up with the kids to fight these terrorists. And then you have Olivia Diabo, who was the coach from the Big Green, has a special appearance, comes in, saves the day. She's also the older sister in Wonder Years, if anyone has seen that. And then a special guest is Emilio Estevez comes in, who also coached kids. This is a whole coaching kids and saving the day type of thing. So that Rick Moranis, Ed O'Neill, Emilio Estevez, Olivia Diabo, hard R, saving kids. That's it.
I guess I have to see it because the spectacle is, I can't, my processor in my head isn't up to date.
Yeah. I mean, I would expect that because when someone says Rick Moranis, your first thoughts Rocky Horror Picture Show, you want to hear him sing. But what if we add a singing aspect to the action movies? What if he sings? Put that in there too.
Yeah.
Not winning anyone over.
I haven't looked at the chat. Let's see. Anybody? No, everyone hates it.
No, dang it.
All right. Best action movie that deserves a sequel but never got one.
This one, I'm gonna go to an unpopular opinion. I'm gonna go Man of Steel 2. Like I would like to see Zack Snyder finish it out. I do like the first one a lot, and I'm guilty of the hate on Snyder sometimes. But I would like to see him finish the story out and not get so much of the pressure from the studio and just kind of finish the story. Finish it out, do his thing, and I want to see that because I do like Henry Cavill's Superman a lot.
Yeah, I think if they did follow through with Man of Steel 2, they could have avoided a lot of things that they felt like they had to insert into Batman versus Superman.
Yes.
If they were able to build the world like, all right, Man of Steel 2, and introduce that Gotham is right across the street from Metropolis. You know what I mean? I know, but like at least prep us so we don't learn all that stuff at once.
Yes.
Maybe give us a glimpse of Aquaman then, as opposed to like trying to give us all the glimpses of everybody.
Yeah.
I like the prospect of, like, I'm not the huge best Zack Snyder fan in the world, if at all.
Guilty. Dawn of the Dead's my Zack Snyder. That's the go-to I like. I enjoy that a lot, the remake. 300 when I first saw it was fine. But like Man of Steel, I was like, I'm with it. And then BVS and like everything behind it. Like I don't necessarily blame him as much. But if I gave him a shot, I would have never did BVS and give Man of Steel 2. I'm like, let's see what he could have done.
Yeah. I think because you know what would have been nice? Maybe instead of Lex Luthor finding all these heroes for everyone, maybe I don't know, Superman instills hope into a new generation and new superheroes show up.
Yeah. That's what the S stand for, you know? Stood for.
Like a river. All right. Well, those are all 4 questions, TJ. So we have alluded to working on something. Do you want to tell them what you have in mind for the upcoming? Did we settle on a name? Did we settle on script to code?
I think that's pretty much what we settled on. We had a couple going, but that seems like what we should go with.
Why don't you tell them what the plan is?
Yeah, so basically what me and Tom want to do, I want to give a lot of credit to Tom. This was, your idea. What we want to do is we want to dive into video games and basically from chronological, domestic, international releases from the very beginning until now. And what we want to do is, they get a lot of hardship, they get a lot of slack for being bad movies, and let's talk about that. Let's compare those films to the actual video game, the differences, what you liked, what you didn't like. So again, we're going to start with Super Mario Brothers, I believe, is what we're going to do. I don't know if we wanted to spoil that.
No, we already told them it's going to be in chronological order, so they can just look it up. But so like to give you an idea, like the first 5 I think would be Super Mario Brothers, then Double Dragon, then Mortal Kombat 1, 2, Wing Commander I think is in there.
Street Fighter.
And Street Fighter. I think those are that's how we're going to get them. Once we get through the live action ones, we'll go and we'll hit up the animated ones or something like that. And then when we run out of those, we'll do movies about video games and flip the script maybe.
Until you guys get sick of it or don't want to watch it anymore, but we just want to dive into this and just have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Just and again, like if you guys have a special passion for any of these films, I don't know how necessarily we're going to go through the picking process of who we want to put on each episode, but please reach out to us. And if you really love something like that gets a lot of hate and you feel so strongly about it, let's talk about it. Like that's the goal of this, is just let's get out there and just talk.
Ashley's saying she wants to be on the Mortal Kombat one, so you have volunteers already.
Well, it's funny because for those paying attention on Twitter, I kind of put like a little test question out there to see what movies people liked. And I wrote down the responses, and I was going to ask, but I had Ashley written down for Mortal Kombat because that was what she said.
Oh, yeah.
And Cal's saying that he has the Double Dragon movie memorized. He watches it every day for a year. Cal, if you want to jump on that and maybe let Joe do Have Children eventually, I don't know. You guys work that out, but
fight for it.
Yeah,
you could even find some way to maybe get multiple people on time. Well, it's going to grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
hopefully.
So,
I think we have planned first guest being Mormo.
Mr. Mormo.
He wanted to talk about Super Mario Brothers, and that should be a fun time. And
Yes.
if you don't know who Mormo is, check out the last season of the Mormo Zone horror punk podcast. We're trying to get a lot of new content on here, and if you ever have an idea for a podcast or want to do something, throw me a line. Maybe we'll get you home here on the channel. What's up, TJ?
If I can make a request to get on the Mormo Zone, I would love to talk the Toxic Avenger. I don't know if it's been done yet.
I mean, you can always talk about Toxie as much as you want, I'm sure.
Yeah, that dude loves trauma. He will talk to you about trauma all day.
James Gunn, the whole connection, all that. Love it.
I'm not going to spoil too much, but apparently Mormo's been talking to a bunch of people, and we might get some new blood on the Mormo Zone. But of course, we'll always try to get people from home team.
So yes, we'll try to get you on there as soon as possible.
Yeah, no rush, guys.
So be sure to check out Script to Code, Code to Script when that comes out. Keep a lookout on Twitter. And TJ, where can they find you if they want to talk to you? If they want to test your mic.
Yeah, you guys can find me at TJ Dex on Twitter, at Movie Squad on YouTube, and got some things coming. And Code to Script, Script to Code. What is Code to Script?
Code to Script.
Code
the
to Script,
game comes first until it doesn't. Then we'll just flip the show to Script to Code.
Yes.
Brian wants to talk about Angry Birds.
Let's do it.
Nice.
Just have two coinciding shows, just flip the names. It's like the mirror. Right. Anyway. Thank you so much, TJ. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Bye, buddy.
Bye. All right. Let's try to get Jonathan in here. I know.
Let's get him in.
Bye, Alicia. Oh, it just sounds like Felicia. So.
I love Del. She's the
Okay.
sweetest.
So we're gonna try the link again. Was that where we were at?
And you guys are awesome. I see we still have quite a few people in the room. Thank you so much for sticking around so late on this Monday evening. We love you all.
Yes, we do. And yes, actually, all of those Ball movies. Blood Rain. Postal. Oh, man. They're not good.
They're not good.
In the Name of the King, a Dungeon Siege tale. I think that's on the list. There's I'm excited.
Where's my damn Heavy Rain movie? That's what the F I want.
We've been talking about that for years.
I want my Heavy Rain movie. Preferably with David Fincher directing.
Yeah, I remember your pitch. Did you also want Fincher for your Riddler? No, we wanted Refn for your Riddler.
Yeah, Refn for my Riddler movie. With NPH.
We were talking about that. I guess we should figure it out. We'll maybe pull it or something, but maybe we'll do Resident Evil in parts. So we'll do 1 through 3, and then 4 through 5, and blah blah blah. Because there is a lot, but some of them are better than others. So if someone's like, oh, I really want to talk about 2, or I really want to talk about 1, but not necessarily 3, we can do 1, 2, and then group 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out. But...
Jonathan wants, yeah, you can tell us your email. And Joe says he'd be down for that Warcraft movie. So definitely everybody get a hold of TJ just so he can start organizing ideas and know who's looking to come on.
Just keep in mind, we are trying to go in chronological order. So take a look at the list. We're starting with the international live action stuff. So Advent Children's down the line. Like I said, Mortal Kombat. I'm trying to think what came out after that. That's when oh my God, Dead or Alive, that horrible movie.
Yeah, you should send the email here. Yeah,
there we go.
Perfect. And Cal, thank you for staying so on top of the chat tonight and being our hype man as usual.
He's been great as the moderator. Always. Even though we told him we'd see him in 25 years, he's still here. Oh my God, there was a Craft Tekken movie, not live action, was there? And see, that's where the thing is. I don't know where to draw the line because there are plenty of Japanese live action versions of video games, but they're not subbed or dubbed. So I mean,
we could always get there eventually, but right now we're just concentrating on.
Ashley's wondering where you can find that list in chronological
it's
order.
on Wikipedia. Just look at video game movies. If you can't find it for some reason, I'll take a look and I'll send it to you. I could always just post it on Twitter. I gotta work up a logo anyway. Maybe I'll do them both at the same time.
Yeah, Cal, I know you do a great job for Ashley and Joe over at Geek to My Nerd too, because I see you when I pop into all their stuff doing that. Like Cal will pop in and he's like, you guys should like and subscribe. Like that's the first thing he writes. That's how you know Cal is there.
Yeah, Joe, they concentrate more on the Dead or Alive volleyball game than they did on the actual Dead or Alive game. And like there was classes that turned you into Taskmaster essentially, because he's like, I gathered you all to fight so I could learn your moves. Hey, Josh.
Hey,
John, sorry. I did a thing with my eye. Oh, that's a cool Heath Ledger in the background.
Thank you, actually. And if you can see from my room right here, I got a lot more than you bargained for.
Ooh, stuff.
Thank you.
We love stuff.
Thanks. This is arguably my sort of debut appearance around here, so I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
We're
We
glad to
always
have
like
you.
having new people. And if you ever have any interests in any certain topics, always feel free to let us know. And we try to cover everyone's interests. But right now we're concentrating on action. So we have a few questions for you.
Yeah, he knows because he's been waiting patiently.
I know.
And we appreciate that.
Let me put my hat on.
Oh,
Nice.
legend. Wait for it.
There.
Yeah, right.
All right. Who is the best villain in an action film?
Okay, well, people said the best villain in an action film, people want to go to the Gruber, the T-1000, even Arnold, for example. But there was one person for me, not only you could relate to this person, but you would personally identify with him. It's General Hemmel from The Rock.
Nice.
Right. Was that Ed Harris?
Yes.
Somebody else picked that
Yes.
too. Yeah. Who picked that earlier?
What did
That's
you
a great pick.
what did you connect with about that character?
I connected with him because you understand what he's coming from. Like, by the opening shot and opening scene of the film, you'll see him to visit his right here, put his badges and his honors at the graveside. Like, I've done everything I can for this country so far. What is left for me to do? So basically like that. So like, basically telling his wife, I'm finished. I'm done. I need to do this.
Nice, I like that.
Ed Harris, man, he's just got like these cold eyes he just put on you, and you're like, oh, okay. He's amazing in Westworld. He was great in The Rock.
Yeah.
Great pick. Do you have a favorite one-liner?
Well, I'm actually I'm a little stuck by two, but actually, you know what? I'll just say it, but it might be count as a bad timing though in context. I'm just gonna say it there. I'm just gonna say this. You're fired. That's it. Hear it?
Yeah.
Hear? Yeah. That's it. You're fired.
What movie?
True Lies.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's just a little plain. It's a little plain and a little simple right here. And the reason why it was just awkward timing, just all the stuff going around. So that's the reason I said that. And that's a little irony to that.
I feel like Arnold Schwarzenegger should be making some coin on that line. He came up with it first. So where's his royalty check?
Yeah.
Anyway, question 3 is, who has the potential to be our next old man or woman action star?
I'm a little stuck between two people I knew. It's sort of between coin flip between my head and like, who should be very interesting? Someone be least expected to be in an action scenario. I had to be served between it. So after pondering around it, the person I choose for this challenge is someone that, yeah, he's old, but not that old as some people may think. But the person I choose is granted, like even you go his younger years, like he done some action stuff. Even before that, he did comedy along with it. But recently, we saw in some certain action blockbuster last year. He can still got it. It's Michael Keaton.
That was
in
Tom's
the car.
pick.
I was like, man, I want to pick Michael Keaton because I know he just did that. Like he was training that younger kid in that one movie that came out. I haven't seen it, but
yeah, I felt like
I love.
Yeah, that was my. I was sort of. It's between him and someone else. Like I was originally gonna pick my second choice, but I was like, I'm not sure that would work though. Can I tell you my second choice?
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
My second choice was Goldblum, Jeff Goldblum, but I just felt like yeah, it's sort of a coin flip. It's like I don't know what to choose though. Like as like I want to be too outside the box, or it's too obvious, but not that more attention like that.
I mean, I like both.
Yeah,
both of your choices are great because they would make like a character that's unique to them. Like a Jeff Goldblum, I picture like a whimsical gun toter who like kind of like flutters behind a corner as he's shooting you. And then what was the first pick again?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, Michael Keaton, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he's just such a solid actor, and I think he looks better now than he did when he was younger because he looked like dad jeans Bruce Wayne back then.
Yeah, really, he is. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one of those questions I have legit tough to think about because other people online, I don't know who suggested this, but I was like, I want to pick that. And someone picked that first is I don't know who picked this, but someone's recommend Ed O'Neill. I was like, that's legit one choice I personally never thought of, but I can see it though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential out there. Just like who finds the right script and the right studio and the right, the old game. But we got one last question for you before we sign off for tonight. Yeah. And we want to know what action movie deserved a sequel but never got one.
One action movie that never got a sequel though. There was one movie for me that I was like, I'm very curious, like maybe in the climate right now, if this director's still alive today, like I felt like he might be interested to do a sequel to this film because if you look in the climate we're living right now, is Crimson Tide. I know it's sort of like it's not barely action, but it's marketed as an action film anyway. Even though it's a place in a submarine, it's based on a sort of action setting in one setting of it. So,
yeah,
that will be my choice.
Because like that reminds me of that. What they did it. It was a video game, but they just did it as a movie. Well, it was a movie, then it was a video game, then it was a movie. It was like it's like Russia invading America, and you're trying to. I think it had Chris Hemsworth in it. I don't remember.
Red Dawn.
The Red Dawn remake.
Yeah. It'd be kind of cool to like do that kind of like, it's during now, but what if like all of a sudden German subs showed up and like are taking things down? So I could see that working. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for waiting and calling in. If anybody wants to talk to you on Twitter, where can they find you?
You can find me on social media, not only on Twitter, but Instagram at JPEG1098 on social media around Twitter and Instagram. So,
and do you have anything to plug?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, that's fine. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan, and we'll talk to you soon, bud.
And we hope to see you again.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Later.
Bye.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's such a happy dude, but that Heath Ledger behind him, he's like,
it was menacing.
Watch out about this guy. No, that was great. We love meeting new people. And what do we got going on here?
we've talked to him on social media before. He just hasn't been on the show.
Oh, okay, yeah. The name was familiar. I just wasn't sure. You know me. Horrible at that stuff. Toy Soldiers. That's a great movie. But no, wait. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Small Soldiers.
Okay, it is very late.
It's time to go. All right, everyone.
But thank you guys all for coming out tonight. Do you have anything you want to plug other than stuff we already?
I mean,
talked
we've
about?
talked a lot about it. I'm working on reformatting the website because I'm sick of being behind. So it's like, all right, well, if I have to start from scratch, then I can't be behind. So
and working on the Patreon as well.
Patreon, we're trying to throw some some incentives up there. We have our watch-alongs that Eric and I do. During that, I haven't talked to TJ about it, but I was thinking about maybe some exclusive Let's Plays connected to the podcast. Just things to tie in and make our content fluffier. I'm not. What's the word I'm trying to use? The
full body,
more expansive. Full bodied is a pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
Robust.
We're trying. You're nailing it. You're doing great. TJ said I was good with the names. Sir.
I just have words.
It's just words.
Descriptors.
Well, my name's Kimber.
And my name's Tom.
And you can tweet at me at KimberBatch_OSP.
And me at OddShapePanel.
Be sure to check in on Wednesday when I'll be hosting TV3 with Matthew Whitaker.
No, that's on Monday.
I said, what did I say?
Wednesday.
It's a day that ends with day. I don't...
Yeah, so TV3-Way coming out on Monday. Check out all of our shows. Please like, comment, and subscribe, just like Cal told you to. We love all of you guys, and we appreciate you coming out and sticking around and calling in, as always. And we will talk to you very soon at our next OSP and Chill in 2 weeks.
Lies! We're doing an OSP Director Spotlight in 2 weeks on Stanley Kubrick.
We're not doing a Chill in between?
We've already done one this month.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to do one a month.
Okay, no problem.
For you! I'm Bo Burnham.